DJ Urban T. Benjamin. My brothers. This ain't pain talk. This is clarity.
They told us be strong, but don't act like a man. Be sensitive, but never take a fucking stand. Be providers, but ashamed of the grind. Confused ass culture, now we losing our spine. I watch men drown with their mouths full of facts. Quote every theory, but don't move when it's time to act. Scrolling for truth like it's stuck in the feed, but red pill reality don't come cheap. I ain't mad at women, I'm mad at the lie. They told you red pill meant bitching online. Red pill wasn't rage, it was look in the mirror. Now see enemies instead of getting clearer. They say wake up, but stay sleeping they habits. Blame the whole world, never audit they balance. You broke cause you lazy, not cursed. Red pill truth hit hard, yeah this shit might hurt.
Hell, red pill, but don't choke on the truth. If you woke while you still in the same fucking loop, say you free, but you chained to the pain. Red pill, see clear, still walk in the rain. Red pill, but live that shit out. Awake ain't a bad, just a long way out. If you see what's real, then stand on your feet. Brotherhood calling, don't lie to me.
Misogyny ain't strength, it's fear in disguise. Red pill twisted when you stop thinking precise. Turn patterns into laws, turn hurt into hate. Then wonder why life still slamming the gate. Alpha beta talk got you sounding real small. Red pill discipline silent, don't posture at all. A man who see clear, don't need a villain. He building his shit while you scrolling and bitching. Red pill ain't the uniform, it's the work. But most one language without the dirt. Truth don't trend, don't clap, don't cheer. Red pill pressure make cowards disappear. I ain't saying the world fed, it's never the case. But red pill don't excuse you from running the race. Life don't owe you shit, but it answer the work. So either level up or stay mad and hurt.
Red pill, but don't poison your soul. Truth ain't hate, it's control. Stay woke, but you live in the sleep. Red pill talk, same shit every week. Red pill, but stand like a man. Awareness demand more than a plan. If you see what's real, then bleed for the truth. Brotherhood watching, what you gon' do?
Red pill ain't loud. It don't argue in comments. It don't recruit the bitter. Red pill get quiet and start demanding receipts. I ain't above this shit, I'm in it too. Same red pill standard apply to you and me, fool. If I say build, I gotta build mine. If I say lead, I gotta bleed time. Gentlemen, my brothers. Red pill ain't something you say, it's something you live. I'm holding myself to it too.
You ever lose so much you stop feeling it? Then one day the blessings hit like a fucking hurricane. Yeah, I'm in that chapter now. I'm on the ride of my life. Hey. I'm on the ride of my life. I'm on the ride of my life. Everything tried to bring me, I told that shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I'm on the ride of my life. Yeah, the old me's dead, I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb. Had some fake friends say they'd always stay down. Next week acting like they barely came round. People love you when you up, when you sink they drown. So I cut the snakes early, I don't play with clowns. All these late nights stressing, trying to make ends meet. Now I'm eating real good, something like a king's feast. Took every punch life through, stayed on my fucking feet. Now I shine so bright, even pain looks sweet. Ay, haters talking but they whisper now. They ain't built for what I walk through, different style. I'm chosen, I'm focused, I know this now. They doubted, I rose and I own this now. All that heartbreak, all that fear and trauma made a man out of me, not a runner. And every closed door just brought me another. Now I'm done stressing, I'm blessed like a motherfucker. I'm on the ride of my life. shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I'm on the ride of my life. Yeah, the old me's dead, I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb. Now I'm waking up peaceful, no drama near. Had to cut off weak energy, keep my mind clear. Now the love I get real, yeah, the vibe sincere. Ain't no fear left in me, I'm the one they cheer. Got family depending on my next big win. Got angels protecting me from more fake friends. Used to pray for these moments every damn night then. Now I live every blessing like amen again. Won battles I ain't mentioned cause it's none of they biz. Took kids that would've folded, left them in where they sit. Now I'm rich in my spirit and I'm rich in my grit. Fuck the past, I'm alive and I'm built for this shit. Yeah, I've been running through hell just to touch this light. Had to lose my heart just to get it back right. Had to cut off people who ain't treat me right. Now I'm up, way up out of sight. I'm on the ride of my life. I'm on the ride of my life. Everything tried to break me, I told her shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb.
Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence, thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring. Deep emotion, no filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling.
Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion, no filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive.
Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion, no filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design. The urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design. The urban lounge where iron sharp iron. We build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited.
Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion, no filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not y'all billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully. All right. We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. Salute everybody. Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to tonight's episode. Appreciate y'all so much, man. We got another good episode that we're going to want to do right now. We're going to do a reaction video, and I do want to get y'all perspective on this. This was handed to me by my moderator, Shuckverse, who is in the building right now. Shout out to you, bro. And now, Negro, your trolling gonna be limited as well too. What the hell you talking about? Shit. You get that smoke like everybody else. You don't get no special treatment. The hell. But shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. Ruffer, what's up with it, man? Salute to you. Appreciate you a whole lot for our tuning in. Ruffer is one of my he's one of my loyal subscribers. If he's not watching me on the live stream, he is most definitely in the community wild participator. So I appreciate him a whole lot. And I also appreciate each and every last one of y'all who are subscribed to this channel. Appreciate y'all for always supporting this channel as well too. So we first get ready to get into this episode for tonight because I don't want to hold y'all very long. So let me ask y'all this question. Are y'all aware of who Magic Johnson's son is? Some of y'all probably are aware. Some of y'all probably not aware. Are y'all aware of who he is? Well, Magic Johnson, he is the NBA Hall of Famer, all right? So he do have a son. His son named EJ, okay? So EJ Johnson been trending lately in the social media space. He been trending lately because he been having some things to say about his particular lifestyle. Now, those of y'all who not aware of this, EJ Johnson, he is part of the LGBTQ plus community. All right. To be honest with you, I don't know what exactly he identify as. So hopefully this episode he'll want to clarify that for us, even with the pronouns. I'm not sure, what pronouns the dude use, whether it's he or him or she or whatever, them, they, gender fluid. I have no idea. But we're going to find out today in this episode. All right. So if you're ready for this thought-provoking conversation where we're going to journey into the LGBTQ community and understand why EJ Johnson think the way he think and the reason why he moved the way he moved within his life and his, relationship-wise life, that you're in the right place, all right? So before we start, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel, all right? So YouTube could let you know that you want more of this content, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this content for the hour, all right? So EJ Johnson, he ended up doing an interview on Reality with the King. Now, this gentleman here, he became really popular because, to my understanding, he was with Oprah Winfrey. So that says a lot. He was with Oprah Winfrey, and so he ended up branching off and decided to start his own podcast, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and hear what they had to say in this interview with EJ Johnson.
On today's episode of Reality with the King, let me tell y'all something.
Carlos.
We are here with royalty. And that's the motherfucking truth. Because, listen, this person has been in our lives for like almost 2 decades. And I'm so grateful and thankful that they are here so that we can like really get to know them. So ladies, gentlemen, gays and theys, give it up for the iconic EJ Johnson.
I can't with gays and theys. I love that.
I'm very inclusive.
That's very hilarious.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
You are stunning.
Thank you.
You are. I finally get to meet you.
Yes. We met almost a year ago now, only via Zoom.
Only via Zoom.
Yes.
And I fangirled a little bit. But now we're in person, and let me tell you something, baby. It's everything in person. It's everything. But how are you?
I'm amazing.
You look
fabulous.
amazing.
Yeah. It's a great way to start the new year. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, we're in New York City, which is I'm hearing is like your new playground.
Well, it's my new home. I live here now. So I'm back. I was here. I went to school here, but like, my heart's here. Like, I have never had a love affair with LA. That's just the place I'm from. But like, me and New York have a relationship. We just broke up and then we got back together. Yeah. We both had to grow and like do our own things, but like now we're back. But like, New York's like my man. Like, you know, we had to get back together.
Okay. All right. And now is it a monogamous relationship in New York City? You're not like...
No. I think like we're kind of like all over the place because I also love Europe. I adore Paris, and I'm sure at some point I'll live there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But right now you're just like...
Right now I'm very happy to be here. And plus I'm only like 6 hours from Paris or London or wherever. So I'm good.
Good.
You know, gentlemen, I also have a love-hate relationship for New York. I really do. Well, it's a couple of cities I have a love-hate relationship with. New York is definitely one of them. What was the other city I've been to, and I just like, ugh. Damn. Is it Florida? I think it's Florida. Yeah, I think it's Florida. It's not Georgia. Georgia is all right to a certain extent. It's another city that I just despise a lot. I hate going there with everything in me, but I can't think of it. But yeah, I do. I have a love-hate relationship for New York. New York is cool depending on where you're going in New York. You know, now if you're going to Manhattan Island or any one of the boroughs, you know, that's cool to visit. You know, like even like Harlem or them type of areas. It's pretty cool to visit as well too. But there's certain other areas that, you know, I just like, because the reason why, because the people are some straight assholes for real. Like, case in point, over there in Queens and Queensboro and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Them people are some complete assholes for real, for no apparent reason, bro. I ain't lying. So I don't like that. They're the same way when you want to go into other areas in New York too, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bronx and, you know, them other areas too. So like I say, I understand it. I understand it a lot.
Listen, I am so thrilled to talk to you because number one, listen, you don't do, I feel like, any interviews.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while. I mean, I was doing a lot of growing like in this time, but I was like, I think it's very important. I think especially for people who have like lengthy careers and they change and stuff, like it's very important to have some time to yourself. And so like, it's exciting for me to like get back out there as like the highest version of myself. And like, it's just been an exciting journey just in the past couple of months. And so like, I'm excited to have this like first interview and then like excited for some more after this.
So is 2026 about to be like the comeback of EJ Johnson?
Yeah, this is like the emergence of like Miss Thing. You know what I'm saying? Like emergence. She's back. But you know,
speaking of which, since they mentioned about emergence, y'all, my Emergence album is now out on our streaming platforms. So go ahead and check that out and support my DJing career.
But I will say that like EJ never really fully arrived until now, and I thought about that a great deal in anticipation of this interview. But I was like, because I knew you were going to probably ask something like that. But to be honest, like EJ is fully here. Like I think before I was so young at that time, at the time of, you know, being on E and all of that, when that first spotlight hit. I mean, I was like 20. Like, you know, I had a lot of self work to do. And now after doing all of that and like, you know, taking my time to really just to fall in love with myself, I'm like, oh, with everything, the balances are zeroed out. We're checking all the boxes and like, I'm fully here.
Yes. And I could tell that again, especially during our earlier conversations via Zoom. And I knew it was like the right time to have this conversation with you because I do feel like when it comes to you, which I give you so much props on, seriously, you still have this level of anonymity when it comes to, there's a lot of people, although, you know, you had a reality show, you were on it for so many years, you still kept your private life fundamentally private. And there are just things about you that I feel like you always protected. And that's good because, listen, when it comes to the offspring of celebrity parents, you know this. You see some of the unfortunate things that occur with them. But I always felt like with you, you always did your best to make sure, you know, to sort of protect your identity and really not just be out there for the sake of being out there.
Yeah, that never really interested me, to be honest. And like, honestly, like even when I was on camera, like I would fight the producers whenever they would push something on me that I didn't want to do or wasn't me. And they were like, oh, well, you know, this, it doesn't matter that's not you, you know, because somebody in the middle of the, you know, in the middle of the country or somewhere randomly will get it. And I'm like, no, but I'm not doing it because I wouldn't do that. Like, this has nothing to do with some random person somewhere that's not here who's supposed to be laughing or understanding what you're asking me to do. You know, that was never, I always had like a pretty strong sense of self and things that I knew I liked, that I wanted to portray, and like things I didn't. But, you know, to be honest, it's like so much has changed even, you know, since then. And like, you know, even seeing these celebrities like cry and on, you know, Instagram lives or, you know, just like put so much personal business out there. And then they want to get mad when everyone's in their business and commenting on everything they're doing. And I'm like, but you let them in. And so I always keep a boundary. And like, there's nothing more, honey, in my life right now than the boundaries that are the most powerful.
Now, I can actually relate to him in that perspective. Even being a content creator and influencer, right? You have to give yourself certain type of boundaries for what you're going to put out there versus what you're not going to put out there. And the reason why is because whatever you put out there, you're going to be judged accordingly for that. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that people are going to want to give you a either a positive perspective about what you put out there, or they're going to give you a negative perspective about what you put out there, and you have to be prepared for that. I had learned to discipline and teach myself the importance of that, the importance of putting information out there, you know what I'm saying, to protect not only myself, but protect, you know, the integrity of, you know what I'm saying, my family and different things like that. But there are other people out there, they don't think like that at all, period. They just do stuff, you know what I'm saying, to be way too loose, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I can relate to him on that. But another thing that I want to share with y'all is this. Earlier, they was talking about him being part of the legacy, right? Since Magic Johnson is his father, right? I'm kind of curious. To want to know the reason why he did this transitioning the way he is right now. I wonder why. It's because he wanted to be different from his father. And I mean, when I mean different, I mean like all the way different. Because his father have like a masculine energy, right? And so he wanted to be different from his father. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up transitioning to what it is right now, you know, to this image of what he is right now, you know. Shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. Morris, what's up with a salute. And Frank, what's up with a salute to you as well too. And no, I did not say that, bro. I did not say I could relate to a gay man. I'm talking about what he said, not his lifestyle. So cut it out. I'm talking about his lifestyle. I'm not talking about his perspective, what he said earlier for us, him being a influencer. That's why I say I could relate to him on that aspect, but not his lifestyle and anything like that, or his life choices. All right. But let's continue, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up to support the channel.
I don't care who you are. You have to keep your distance. If I don't know you like that, if we don't have some kind of a real fundamental relationship, you're over there. Like, I don't play that.
Good for you. It took me to be my 40s to get there. So kudos to you for already figuring that out.
I mean, it just like, I think I just like learned through experience, to me. Yeah. And it's like, I had a lot of friends who I thought were my friends, you know, over the past couple of years who had to go because they just like so did not have the, you know, the best intentions for me, not pure, totally wanted their hooks in. And like, I had to wake up and I had to get to work and I just been like, okay, all of you have just got to go. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, I'm not even like, oh, maybe no, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to go back a little bit because I want this interview to be just about you.
Yes.
Dude,
What else is there to
real,
talk
so
about?
with the
yes, because I really just feel like when it comes to you, there's a lot of people who just don't know much about you. So I would love to spend this hour,
what's
you know,
up?
with that intention.
Absolutely.
So who was EJ Johnson growing up? California, obviously your father is Magic Johnson, your mother is the beautiful Cookie, but like you're the oldest. Who?
I'm actually glad that Carlos is asking him these questions because it gives us more of a understanding to understand the reason why he in a transition the way he is right now. You know what I'm saying? Normally everybody story or everybody arc, if you want to call it, it always starts off in the very beginning when they're children. Okay, so I'm really, really curious to see how EJ going to respond to this, and I'm hoping that, you know, he be open and honest about his situation, you know, dealing with his family and, you know, the dynamics of that and everything. All right, but let's continue, y'all.
Were you growing up in that world?
I appreciate Jess.
As a young boy.
You know, honestly, like it was very difficult. And, you know, I talk about a lot about this, you know, like with other people, you know, growing up, you know, in all the bougie, you know, elite schools that I went to, and like all of the children that I went to school with in LA were, you know, industry elite. So everyone had, somebody's parent was always doing something, even if they just had money for the sake of having money. But it's very difficult to be born in someone's shadow. It really is. And like, no one talks about that right now. It's like, oh, like, you know, the industry is glamorizing, you know, the Nepo babies. And at the same time, demonizing it too, because then everyone is mad that like, you know, they think that we all have like a leg up or something. But honestly, like, it is very difficult to come into the world and what you want doesn't really matter because it really only matters what plays well for whoever the spotlight is on. Yeah. And that was very difficult to navigate as a child and even as a young adult, honestly. It was weird. It definitely took a lot of time to just like find myself in all of that and then just be like, okay, like, you know, your spotlight is over here and mine is over here. And like the only thing I have to do in this lifetime is focus and nurture me and what's going on over here. And you do that over there. But yeah, like that was a lot for the child. But like, you know, like I was always just running around, prancing around in skirts and doing the most, you know, as a kid. And like, I think I found a lot of, even at those young ages, I found a lot of security just like hanging out with myself because like it was just...
So let me ask y'all this question, chat. By him expressing his upbringing, right, he said something real critical. He said that it was difficult living under the shadow of a legacy, right? And when he talking about this legacy, of course, he's talking about his parents. So here's my question. Do you believe that the choices that he made is selfish? Once again, do you believe that the choices that he made for himself is selfish simply because he didn't understand the whole dynamics of what his parents had built for him? I'm going to put it to y'all this way. In the same aspect, right? Imagine with me, right? Imagine if you know, your parents they are millionaires, right? And so your parents do everything possible to put you in a position where you could be in a higher caliber of hierarchy, you know, in society. So they put you in better schools, you know, it could be possibly Ivy League or whatever the case may be, right? They put you in better schools. They give you better clothes. They give you a better home, give you stability, and give you all these different things, right? And while they're doing that, they're doing their very best to nurture you in that aspect, right? You as a child is looking and saying, essentially this is not good enough. Essentially looking at this and spitting in your parents' face. Y'all want to know what that remind me of? That remind me of how modern women treat men. When we talk about this in red pill spaces, right? Where you actually do have a man where he'll do everything possible to fulfill his duty to provide, to be that provision, to protect, and do all these different things, right? But yet it's still he end up getting with the wrong type of woman, and she don't value that. She don't appreciate that. So that's why I asked y'all this question. Do you believe that by him saying that, is it selfish? If is it selfish on his part, do he not appreciate the things that was given to him? Because to be quite honest with you, when you look at it from that perspective, I believe it is selfish. It is. So now, instead of just appreciating what's been given to you, now you want to just lash out. You want to act out. You want to undo everything possible to be the opposite of the very thing that been help sustaining you. And y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Let's keep it real. The only reason why E.J. Johnson is relevant still to this day is simply because of the legacy of his father's name. Let's keep it real. Because other than that, we would not know nothing about no E.J. Johnson. He just been another trans man. That's it. Respectfully. I'm just saying. But y'all let me know what y'all thinking on chats, and I'll come and read the comments in a little bit, all right? So let's continue.
It's like a very, awkward coming into my own and trying to find myself in the world that kind of like told me that like I wasn't allowed to like exist the way that I wanted to exist. So I gained a lot of self-confidence just like playing by myself because like that's where I felt safest. And it ended up, ultimately like being one of my greatest attributes because like now it's like I'm like this with myself and like no, I'm unmovable, unshakable, invincible. You cannot upset me or do anything, externally because I'm 100% right here.
When did you realize you were gay?
Pretty early on, honestly. Like I don't even, I wasn't one of those people who ever tried to be straight. Like I talked to a lot of, like obviously the gayest that are, either that I grew up with or like ended up being friends with, but like I would say like 90% of them, had girlfriends or lost their virginities to women. And like, I really never tried. Like it was it wasn't an option. I don't think I would have taken myself seriously, even at that young age, to be honest. Like I could never see myself as like dating a girl. Like I don't even think I could. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't convince myself to do it. So therefore I was like, girl, you can't convince the world to think that for you. But definitely like 11, 12.
Oh,
for sure.
Okay.
Like when, you start to have those feelings and stuff. But honestly, I think like the feelings were just so strong that like I just kind of like knew it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, probably like the 8th grade, like the summer before I went into high school, like I really like got serious with myself about it. And we were like, this is it. It's like, I don't know, like I just was kind of like, this is who we are. I remember that like very specifically, like just like taking like those last couple of weeks before I had to go back to school, and I was like, this is it. And then I felt so much freer. Like when I got into high school, like I just was like so much more like definitely coming into my own, because like at school, like I just like didn't care. Like I didn't hide it. I didn't pretend. Like everyone knew and everyone was cool, and it was cool.
So I don't know if y'all caught on to some of his cue points or his cue words that he was saying, right? He mentioned that he started having feelings, right? Did y'all notice that he didn't specify what type of feelings he was having for the said gender? The reason why I'm pointing this out is because if we still sticking to the to his talking point of him saying that he was 11 or 12 years old and he was coming into the knowledge of these said emotional feelings, right? Right off the bat, you will know what you like. Like say for example, on those of you in the audience, when you was around that age, you knew right off the bat that you like women. Those of y'all in the audience, when you came to that age, you may start liking men. But the point that I'm emphasizing is that you would literally put a label on what you start liking. But notice that he didn't put a label on what he started liking. He only described the overall decision making to be part of this journey. So that's by me just listening to what he's saying, right? I honestly believe that deep down inside that this dude really isn't gay like he say he is. I believe that he decided to cosplay as being gay simply to be rebellious against the legacy of his father. That's what I believe. But later on down the line, once you cosplay something right, eventually end up becoming your immediate reality because you either got to carry it out all the way or you got to reset and start all the way over. And sometimes that reset would be twice as damaging as you cosplaying into what you are. But so far, that's my perspective on this. But let's continue.
And the first person you told was your mother, correct?
No,
in terms of family.
Friends. Definitely my friends.
Yeah.
But no, my mom kind of like interrogated
Shut
me
up, shut.
when I was like in 10th grade.
Do you remember what she was asking you?
We were on vacation in Hawaii and she was asking me because like I had another friend who came with me and he's also gay. Or I should say attracted to men. I don't really use those kind of labels on myself anymore, but we were just checking all the hot guys. I mean, we were doing what the girls do. They were everywhere and we were, talking and looking and she noticed. And then she was like, I think this is probably something we should talk about. Like what's going on? And I was like, well, I think this is it. This is what I like, And I think she was like fine in the beginning, but then I think it took her some time after that. Cause like, she was like, it was just weird because it was, she had her church. So it was like a lot of going against like what she had been taught. And I think that for both of them, it was that kind of a struggle because they were not people that know how to think outside the box. Like they're not, oh, this is new. Oh, this could happen. Or like, this is okay. Like, we can adapt. It was very like, they're very strongly like, okay, like this is how it is. And this is black is white. And this is this and that's that. And a lot of boxes. And so I think like I really came up against all of that, like, as in my coming of age story. And to be honest, like I never saw anything wrong with it. Like I never thought anything wrong with anything that I did. Like even when I was a kid and like they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? It's like my inner being was like, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, so this really solidified my argument behind what I said earlier about I believe that he just really started cosplaying this role because once again he had some disconnection with wherever that was going on in his household and he wanted to be defiant of it. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to do the exact opposite of everything that he was set in foundation of, including the overall system. So typically when that happens, that's what people do. When they want to be defined, they be defined in every possible structure system. You know what I'm saying? Now, to be honest with you, I'm not sure because he haven't expressed it yet. I'm not sure if he was dealing with any type of trauma in this household for us, like physical abuse or mental abuse, even spiritual abuse. I have no idea because he haven't expressed that yet. Maybe later on down in the interview he might say that. You know what I'm saying? Then we could give a different perspective or judgment about it. But so far, that's currently what I'm seeing. All right. Once again, shout out to everybody who's in the video right now. Make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. Right now, we're looking at EJ Johnson. He is currently doing an interview with Carlos King. Carlos King is interviewing him about EJ Johnson life and the reason why he became part of the LGBTQ community. All right. So if you're enjoying this thought-provoking content, make sure you once again hit the thumbs up to support the channel. That'll let YouTube know that you want more of the Urban Lounge podcast. All right. And those of you who not sub up to the channel, go ahead and sub up to the channel right now so you can participate in the chat. All right. So let's continue.
Like, what's the issue? And that's exactly how I apply it to myself to these days in the way that I present, like in my, in my feminine regalia. I've always been a feminine being, and like that's just like how I best express myself. But I'm like, listen, I'm out all the time, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any of that.
Wait a minute. He just said a few months ago that he's a feminine being. Okay.
So, I
love it. You know what's so funny? Because obviously, so our parents are from Michigan. So your story I can relate to. And again, I'm obviously much older than you. I could be your older big brother, but I can relate.
You're almost the age as my brother.
Oh.
Are you 40?
Yeah.
Something? Yeah. He's
okay.
40 something too.
So,
Yeah.
So I get it. But I have this theory because my father, and I've said this publicly, and he's fine with it because I had to ask permission because I was like, I don't want you to think I'm going to use my platform to blast you. And we're fine. But he was very, very much so like closed-minded, born in 1949 in Detroit, Michigan, and was like my black son, and I'm one of 6. I have 6 brothers.
Wow.
And it's 10 of us total.
Wow.
Right?
Oh my God, that's just like my dad's family.
So I'm saying it's so parallel. So he was just like, so I knew, unfortunately, that my femininity was not going to be accepted. And I have this theory about black mamas. Because I feel like black mama know they kids, child. And although I came out very late, I came out at 25.
That's not that bad.
Well, because well, nowadays, the girls are coming out, baby, at 7.
Yeah.
Right? Which I'm like, go right ahead. But my mom, very sweet, rest in heaven, she was like, you sure? And I said, girl, you knew. And she's like, well, didn't want to assume. And she was like, you going to tell your dad? Because he's been asking about it ever since you were 5 years old. He asked me every year. And I'm like, I'm not telling him. So I didn't tell him until much later. But I can relate to you in terms of like having parents who just wasn't really sort of like, who got it. But when it comes to you, obviously, you're not just any kid. Your namesake says it all. Did you ever feel like the sort of like image you had to uphold being the namesake of your dad?
I think that's what they tried to teach me. That's what I was raised to believe that. But especially now, I'm free of all of that because like I said, it's like I've totally ripped myself away from anyone's namesake besides my own, And I don't even. E.J. Johnson specifically is the only person that I'm fully responsible for and fully looking out for, And that has given me so much peace. Like you have no idea. But I think in the beginning, especially like even when I'm stepping out into my own.
So I'm calling bullshit on that because he's saying that he's stepping out on his own. He didn't got away from that whole legacy talk that you need to fulfill this role. You know what I'm saying? That in the legacy that your father is carrying, right? Once again, the reason why I'm calling bullshit on that is because if he said that he's totally free from it, right? It would be interesting for him to totally not only change his image, but to dismiss the name Johnson, right? Because that name Johnson carries the legacy of his father. The last name Johnson carries the legacy of his family. So once again, if he's talking about that he wants to be totally free from all of this, right? Then why he doesn't identify himself as a brand new name? Change his name altogether. Hell, Kanye do it every year. Kanye changed his name however way he feel like he want to change his name.
so he could have a new identifier. So if that be the case, why he didn't do that? Why is he continuing with the name E.J. Johnson? The reason why is this, ladies and gentlemen, is simply because this dude, he want to be rebellious, but he also want to pander and grift the name of Johnson, because he know that name Johnson is going to get him into certain areas and certain opportunities. But that is how the way I see it. But let's continue.
Spotlight, it was still like a lot of that, of trying to put me in that box, as trying to make us like one unit. And like, I think I used to get really annoyed with that. And I hear about a lot of that, you know, too, from other kids who are in the same predicament. And it weighs on them heavily mentally, because it's like, you know, you can't find yourself when you have to look at your own life through the lens of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was definitely like, I was brought up to believe that, but I definitely ripped myself away from that and let him do him, and I'm doing me.
How did you feel when TMZ outed you back in, I want to say it was like 2013, and because when you think about it right now, it's so inappropriate because
it's very funny. It's funny because it's like, it definitely looked at now would be like highly inappropriate. Like, you could never out someone like that. You know what I'm saying? But to me at the time, it was just like, it just happened. Like, I don't know, like it was one of those overnight success moments. But like, I was ready because I was living my life. So it wasn't like I was hiding anything. Like, it wasn't scary in that instance to feel outed in that way, because I was living my life to the fullest. Like, I was like totally like out in the sun, you know, doing what I do. So like, that wasn't, you know, like, it didn't like hit me to the.
Hey, Voice of the Immigrant, that is a very good question. That is a very good question. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it on the screen. Voice of the Immigrant said this, there would be no E.J. Johnson without a MJ and his legacy. He would not be that famous. What does he do again? To be honest with you, I have no idea what this dude do, other than make allegedly celebrity appearances and stuff using his father's name. And I'm just being dead honest with you. I don't know what he do. I don't know his career. I don't know if he's doing anything. I don't know if he's acting. I don't know if he's playing sports. I have no earthly idea. I don't know.
Left because of that. I mean, obviously, I would have liked to come into the public in my own way. Would have been nice. But, you know, I don't even think about it.
That's good, though, because I remember at the time, and again, this is back in 2013, which of course seems like ages ago, but it was such a big deal. And
that's also one thing I didn't understand. I was like, why is this such a big deal?
It was, so you, well, and again, I'm glad that you have distanced yourself from that moment, but I remember, and again, in 2013, look, I believe I was openly gay. Like, I think I was, actually.
I think according to your math, you would have been.
Right, I'm like, I think I was. But I remember being like, wow, this is number one, inappropriate. But I also remember...
That's really interesting that you picked up on that. Because I feel like nobody did that until later, I think.
And I think a lot of it for me is being in the Black community and just knowing how dangerous at that time it was for us, because I grew up at a time where, you know, being outed, it is dangerous because if you're not ready, you can't deal with the ramifications that comes along with it. So I just remember looking at you.
Even the people who did it on their own accord never went much further in their careers at that time, especially those athletes. Like, they were like, okay, and then wiped away.
That's
like
true.
Completely and utterly.
Think about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that basketball player.
Yes.
And that football player.
Yes. I remember.
They were like, oh, you think you're gonna play after this? No. Like, totally dismissed. Because I've met both of them. Both of them were very nice, but it was like they had that 5 minutes, but it's like, you know, the industries didn't allow that to continue.
No, especially back then. I mean, look, I think even like now with the show Heated Rivalry, have you seen it?
I saw the first episode. Yeah.
You know,
It was a little, I mean, like, it was a little like soft core for me. Like, I was like, okay. I mean, you know, Liz, I mean, I think it's like cute for the culture for sure. Like, I think, especially like the young kids, like they love things like that. Because I used to watch that I watched the Heartbreaker series on Netflix, which was so cute. But then I was like, and then like, what was the Victor? The one on Hulu?
Like Love Victor.
Love
something.
Victor, yes, yes. And I was like, oh, this would have been great.
Yes.
When I was that age, like to have that as a kid, a teenager, or like a young, a kid, like would have been so nice. But I only I had oh my God, Noah's Ark. That came out when I was like 12 or something, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was so pivotal.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick and Polk.
Yes, I love him.
No, he and I are friends, and I said to him too. And at this time, I want to say I'm in my 20s, and I just remember being like, finally, there's something. And that's why when I saw you in 2013, I felt for you, and I felt how inappropriate TMZ was, but I also said, bitch, work, because baby, fashion, the labels.
I don't even remember what I was wearing.
And it was something in black, but you know what it was? You, even then, I mean, you have it now still, and I love that it never dissipated. You always just had this extreme confidence about yourself. And I was always curious, like, where did that come from? Because again, for a lot of Black gay men who try to be themselves, we don't have that confidence oftentimes. But then for you, I'm like, he's in the spotlight, and you to me, you owned it, and you grabbed that torch, and you haven't like blown out the fire ever.
So before EJ, before he responds to this, right? I just had a epiphany. All right, I'm listening to this. I'm listening to both Carlos and EJ, right? And I had one interesting epiphany, and I want to get y'all perspective on this. All right, over here at the lounge, we deal with a lot of red pill content. All right, manosphere content as well too. We also address issues, dealing with the blue pill, purple pill. We deal with simps. We deal with beta males. We deal with feminism. We deal with incels as well too. So I was thinking about this, right? Last week we did a reaction show reacting to Wonder One Kevin Samuels early videos, right? And one of his early videos, he was doing, a kind of like an intervention type show, to where he was talking to beta males and incels, and his goal in that show was to try to educate the incels and beta males and try to get them out of that space of being incels and beta male. He failed terribly at it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can catch the replays on my channel, but he failed at it terribly. I didn't agree. Nothing that he said on the episode, because that was crazy. But the reason why I'm bringing this point up is this. I'm wondering this. And I just want y'all to go with me on this journey. I'm wondering if the incels and beta males, could it be possible for them to eventually transition over into either being DL men, transition over to be straight out the closet gay men, transition over to even be trans? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because look at the circumstances that particularly these gentlemen deal with. Not Carlos and them, but I'm just talking about the man I'm talking about, generally the incels and the beta males and stuff, right? Just look at the circumstances that they was dealing with. They said that they had a hard time connecting with the opposite sex, which is women, right? And they said the reason why they had a hard time connecting with them is because they said that they was the lowest on the totem pole, meaning that these women was not selecting them, that they'll get rejected every single time. Which over here at the lounge, we debunked all of that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm curious to want to see is this the reason why also when we talk about the feminist women, right, or the modern women, and they use the talking point saying that men are actually DL men, right? So I'm kind of curious to want to find out, is it because of these incels and beta male men that they low key didn't have this type of connection with the woman that they desire, right, during this time? Now, I also want y'all to understand my position on this. I'm not talking about early childhood development and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these men starting from high school and on up to being an adult. That's what I'm talking about. Where they were a little bit more developed, you know what I mean? Where they could really experience these feelings for the opposite sex. So I'm wondering, by them having that disconnection, right, being that shallow guy, being that guy who was too damn scared to open up his mouth to say anything to the woman, and then when he do say something to the woman, he end up coming out wrong. It be socially awkward, and all these different other things, right? So I'm wondering, could that be possible? How these type of men would transition from being these beta males, incels, into low key being the DL, then eventually transition full-blown gay or trans. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking about, y'all. I'm wondering. Like I say, these are just hypotheticals. I'm not saying that this is what it is. I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just trying to get y'all perspective on it as well too. But before we continue with the video, y'all, let's go ahead and address some of these comments that we got right now. First of all, Morris say, hey, EJ Johnson is a predator. Then Frank has said this too, and I wanted to go back and give an understanding on this too, okay? Frank had said earlier, he said you could relate to a gay man. What the F, what is wrong with you? Now, once again, let me clarify my position when I said that earlier. The reason why I said that I could relate to him earlier, Frank, is because he was talking about his positioning of being a influencer, okay? He was saying that there was certain choices and decisions that you have to make while being an influencer to protect your integrity as an influencer. So therefore, that's the reason why I say, hey, I can relate to him, because I'm also is a content creator and influencer. And there are certain things that I also have to do to protect my integrity and all these different other things as well too. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't be that loose and open to allowing everybody to know every damn thing about your life. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff should be private. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I said it. And I know earlier I said this to you also, Frank. And I said at the very end of my comment, like, cut it out. Now, I want you to understand when I say that, I didn't mean it disrespectfully, all right? But if it came out to us that way, then I will concede on that and offer you an apology on that, okay? But yeah, that was my position on that, so I can give you that understanding, okay? Now, Morris said this. Morris said, I think EJ doesn't want the responsibility of being a man in a society. I could be very wrong. And then on Real, he come out and said this. He said he reminds me of a Key and Peele character. And to be honest with you, bro, I still watch their show still to this day on YouTube. Them dudes is funny as hell, bro. Morris come back and say this. Deep down, it is selfish because you have to respect your parents' sacrifice for your upbringing. Showverse came and said this. He said, if we wasn't made aware of the value or made to see the vision, then no, this becomes the parents' fault. But if they did, then yes. Then he followed back up and said, you don't have to respect the sacrifices of your parents, especially if they abuse you on every level. Now, in that perspective, yeah, I can understand that. If he was dealing with any type of abuse, then I could get that. And that also go to the one incel argument that I was giving to you as well too. Before them becoming adults, there could be a possibility that now during their early childhood that they was dealing with any type of abuse. And also, I want y'all to understand when we mention the word abuse, we're mentioning different levels of abuse. You know what I'm saying? There could be physical abuse, which physical abuse could transition into sexual abuse. It could be mental abuse. And it most definitely can be spiritual abuse as well too. And so they also mentioned this too. Both of them mentioned this. They kept reiterating about the circumstances of the black culture. Specifically within the black culture when they deal with religion. Now we all know that when you enter religion and have the LGBT community a part of that, right? We know that a lot of religion, including Christianity, Islam, and all these other religions, is totally against their lifestyle. So imagine growing up, you have parents who believe in this religious lifestyle, right? And instead of them, trying to figure this thing out where they can still, support and love them, right? They go back and do what is known as spiritual abuse. They tell them that you got a demon in you, and we're going to take you to church and we're going to nurture with oil, and we're going to rebuke that demon out of you. They will go even further to say like, hey, pastor can rebuke this demon out of me, so we're going to do the next step, which is take you to a therapist or a psychologist, because obviously this is a mental disorder. And that crosses on the line from not only from mental abuse, from spiritual abuse into mental abuse. So yeah, I can with Shelver saying that I can relate to him on that. I can understand his positioning on that because it is very, very, very possible. You know what I'm saying? But however, so far he really haven't mentioned that yet. He really haven't mentioned nothing negative about what was going on in his household with his father and his mother, other than him living up to the legacy of his family name. That's the only thing. Also, Showverse followed back up and said, I was around enough gay people to challenge that. And then Morris said this. He said, damn, that's interesting indeed. Urban, they say that famous children are spoiled in the title and rebellious for no apparent reason. And finally, Voice of the Immigrant says this. Voice of the Immigrant said, do you realize that he does not make a lot of eye contact when he's explaining something? I think he said a lot of things for sensationalism. Like looking better than women and girls. Yeah, which we're going to get to that. He's going to mention that later on in this interview. All right. So good stuff, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Pound, what's up with the salute? Welcome to the lounge again. Appreciate you pulling it back up. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are reacting to E.J. Johnson. He is having an interview with Carlos King right now. He's explaining to us about his upbringing with his father and living up to his father's legacy. He's also explaining his lifestyle as well too. So he got asked a question, and he's getting ready to answer this question right now. Those of y'all who are here right now, we got roughly between 180, 200 people in the lounge right now. Do me a favor, y'all. Go ahead and get them likes up to at least about 50 likes. Let's at least do that. Get the likes up to about 50 likes, okay? So let's go ahead and dive deeper into this, and let's hear EJ response.
I don't know. I think I like I said, I was like, I think I spent, when I was used to hang out with myself a lot, I'm just saying, like, I really, really got to see myself fully, which is such a powerful gift. And right now, I mean, like, and even now, it's like I see myself like completely clear. Like they have that saying where they say, other people can see you better than you can see yourself. But like when you can see yourself better than everyone else can see you, you win. Mm-hmm. And I think I always felt,
thank you so much.
And I always saw myself better and like in my truest form, kind of a little bit better than everyone else. Now it's like completely better. The clarity is like through the roof. But at that time, I was still, quite young. But yeah, like, I mean, I enjoyed being fabulous. Like when I was in college, that was my college time. And like we dressed up and we went to the club and we went to the, the most fabulous parties. And that's just like, who I was. Like, that's just who I always loved to be, and like, that was just very like, of that time. And I mean, you need the confidence, definitely needed the confidence to survive, you know? Now you can just have it, but at that time, it's like you really needed it to like survive for sure. Because otherwise, like, you know, everyone was just going to like walk all over you or, you know, like make fun of you or do whatever. And, you know, I think it's just really important to, you know, to do that self work, to find yourself, especially when, you know, you're not living in a conventional way or the way like society says that you should.
Is that when the E producers called you to do Rich Kids of Beverly Hills around that time?
It was a little bit later. But that happened really by chance. Like I actually that same night, I believe that was the first night I met Dorothy, and that a couple months later, I think like over the summer or something, like she was like, "Oh, we're having this pool party. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then she's like, "Oh, but we're filming a television show." And I'm like, "Okay." Like cool. So like I went to her house and they mic'd me, and you know, we just shot this pool party. Like I honestly, again, I wasn't thinking anything. I didn't even remember what I was saying. Like, you know, they were asking us to talk about our, you know, like our glamorous summer vacations. I think we had us, you know, they set us by the pool and we did one scene where we were like all talking about our summer vacations. But to be honest, like I wasn't in, you know, like the bigger parts of the pilot. This was the pilot of the scene. So like I really didn't think. And then they called me a couple weeks later and they were like, "Oh, do you want to like be a series regular?" And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Like I wasn't a part of this. Like I just came as a guest." And that's how it happened. But it was kind of like, you know, one of those just like random chance things.
Yeah, so once again, he's getting these opportunities because he's living the legacy of his father. The very thing that he said that he got free from, right? I'm free. I'm free from it all. I don't have to worry about that, but yet and still he's pandering his father's legacy and pandering his father's name so he could get these opportunities to be part of these sad roles and these other opportunities as well too. So to be honest with you, I believe that he's not free at all, period. Not how the way he's saying that he's free. I believe that the only part of him is free is for him to express himself, which we live in a country where you have freedom of expression, where you can want to be wherever you want to be. That's part of what they call the American dream. So I believe he's free to do that aspect. But when it comes down to the whole legacy of his father, he ain't free from that. He still is a slave to it. Because like I reiterated earlier, if he didn't use his father's name, his father's legacy, right, nobody would not know who E.J. Johnson is, period. He just be another either gay or trans dude or wherever it is that he identified. I believe he said that he identified himself as gender fluid. I don't know, but let's continue.
Did you have aspirations to be in the spotlight?
I was exploring. I had met with a couple of like networks and stuff at the time. So I was definitely exploring that because like I remember like when I used to watch like the Real Housewives, like I remember like I think Beverly Hills performed while I was came out like while I was in college. And I think my friend and I were watching it and I was watching it. And after it ended, I looked at him and I was like, "Bitch, I can do that." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "I can do that. Like I can do that better than any of these bitches. Like I can fucking do it." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah." And then literally like it just ended up happening. It just manifested for myself.
You know that's Kim Kardashian's story.
Oh, is it?
Not with Beverly Hills, but she watched The Real World. So mind you, it wasn't like a job or a career, right?
Right.
But she watched The Real World and she told her friend like, "I'm going to be that." And her friend was like, "What is that?" She said, "Whatever they're doing, being regular on TV and famous, I'm going to do that." And we see where she's at now. So you watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I'm assuming Lisa Vanderpump was in the... was she a part of it?
No, she was there. Because this was the very first.
Yeah.
This was the very first season. Yeah, but she and Adrienne Maloof were her neighbors in Beverly Hills. So like I
Hey, this is going to be my facial expression for the whole entire episode. Kid you not, bro. So y'all might as well screen record this shit all night.
It was like I wanted to watch because I knew that, you know, the neighborhood was going to be on it.
Was that your neighborhood too?
Yeah, I grew up in the same. My parents live there, like in the same neighborhood in Beverly Hills. That they don't live there anymore, but at the time they did. But yeah, her and Kyle and all those people were hilarious. But yeah, like I literally did that. I remember vividly. We were sitting there and it ended, and I literally was like, I can do that shit. And then it happened.
I love the manifestation of all that story.
I know.
So when you did Rich Kids of Beverly Hills, did you feel like, okay, this is my time to like show the world who I am, and, you know, for me to venture off into like my newfound profession?
Truthfully, I really did not overthink it at that time. It kind of just was like, it was here. I was like, I'm going to take the advantage of it. I'm going to, because you have to remember, this was way before the brand deals and, you know, all the products. And like, this was way before any of the bitches were doing any of that. So like, it wasn't as strategic because you were just kind of seeing like, well, what, you know, and even like my managers and, you know, agents at the time, it was very much like whatever sticks works. Whatever box they put you in, that's who you're going to be. Like, that's, you know, like it was very up to the industry. This was not like, oh, I'm going in here with the game plan. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. Da, 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 da. No, that's now. That's how you play the game now. But then it was all about whatever you throw at the wall and whatever sticks. That's how it works. But like I came in and they were like, okay, well, you know, you're the peacemaker. Like, you know, you're the mother hen. You're the one who's going to get all the bitches together when they're all fighting and doing all these crazy things. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, I guess that's what I'm doing.
How old were you at the time?
Real quick. I noticed this. And I noticed this within the LGBTQ community. All right. And maybe I'm kind of looking into this way too critical. All right. Why is it whenever gay men or trans or, you know, gender fluid, whatever, right? Why is it that they always refer to women, not women, but they always refer to women as bitches? Have y'all noticed that? Because all night, that's all he been saying. He never say a woman or women or anything like that. He call them bitches. Every single time. Every night. I mean, throughout the whole entire conversation, he called them bitches instead of women. Or they'll do this. They will, instead of identifying them as their position as being as a heterosexual woman, which is woman or women, right? They'll put a new identifier and say cis woman or cis women. And I'm kind of curious to want to know, why do they do that? And the reason why I'm asking this question to y'all tonight is because as of right now, there are a lot of modern women who have this feminist ideology, right? And they are aligned. They're literally aligned, right? Once again, they're literally aligned with the LGBTQ community. So they're aligned with this community, but yet and still, these men are referring to you as a bitch or a cis woman. So I'm kind of curious to why they do that. Why do they say that? Hopefully, later on through this interview, he'll kind of explain the reasoning why.
First season, I think I was 20.
Wow.
I think I was 20, and I think I turned 21 that summer, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think it came out the following fall, I think, or somewhere in there.
To be 20 years old on this show.
Yeah.
Just Jay Slew, welcome to the lounge. And respectfully, just because you put link in the chat, that doesn't mean I'm going to drop the link because you asked for or demanded for it. All right.
Yeah, to be 20 years old on the show was like crazy. But it was fun. It was fun at the time. It was fun, you know, and I think we made it look, you know, fun and glamorous, and it was just new because like they had, all the networks had been desperate to find like the kid version
Jamaican
of
News,
the Real
salute, welcome.
Housewives, like the young version.
Hey, so with it.
And we were that. And then also they were trying to capitalize on Instagram because Instagram, you know, all the rich kids of all that Instagram, you know, they wanted to turn that into something because that Instagram was like huge at the time. And so it was like both kind of those things like came together. It was like just one of those like full circle moments. And I just happened to be in the mix. But yeah, it was cute. It was cute. Well, it lasted.
And then you had your spinoff, EJ in the City.
Mm-hmm.
Were you at that time excited about the possibility of being like, a bitch has his own show?
I think it was important.
See, he just said it. Carlos just said it. Instead of saying a woman has their own show, he called them a bitch too.
It was important. Definitely. We were definitely ahead of our time. Way ahead of our time. Like,
well,
oh
I knew that watching it.
And another reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's another strong talking point where modern women would say this. Modern women would say that men will call them a bitch, right? And it comes off as disrespectful. But however, we have two gentlemen right here who've been thus freely using this word, and these same type of women don't find it disrespectful at all, period.
It didn't hit me until I rewatched it like maybe a year or two ago. And I was like, girl, of course, like, you know, this couldn't have continued because you were talking about things like we were talking about being gender fluid and non-binary before that was even like a term. Like, I was like, oh, but you hit on that. Cause I was the one who wanted to push that, you know, that episode we did where I went to see the gender therapist and we discussed it. I was like, because like, I feel like this is an important thing to discuss. Like, I'm not just here to run around in fabulous outfits, even though the outfits were amazing, especially for like 23-year-olds. Oh my God. Shut down. But anyway, I was like, it's important that we talk about this because I'm also trying to figure it out. And I was like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, that was actually my truth. And I love that part of it because like that was actually out of all of it, I think was like the most truthful part. Was actually like mirrored my reality because I really was trying to figure myself out, and like that scene reflected it.
Do you, are there pronouns that you go by today, or how do you identify your sexuality?
I just say, call me EJ as much as possible.
Okay.
You know, it's like pronouns I don't really like he, but like I've also trained myself not to get upset when other people use it, which I think is very important.
Wait, what?
Because you're giving your power away when you lose it. You know, you give words too much of personal power. You know, they is fine, you know, whatever. She is cool. Like, I'm really not a stickler about it. I think for me, it was really just going on the journey to make sure that I wasn't like spinning out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm being misgendered, when especially a lot of the times people don't do it with an ill intention. Some people do.
And I feel like you know when it's ill intended.
Yes.
There's a tone.
Yes, there's a tone, and they'll keep repeating it.
Yeah.
They'll keep saying man or bro too many times, and I'm like, I'm not your bro. Like, you know, but it's usually just somebody you're never going to see again, so who cares?
Wait a minute, hold up. What the hell?
That's bullshit.
Wait a minute. Okay. So he said he have he had a problem when people identify him as being he and him, right? And then also I guess it was acceptable for them and they. And then, you know, it was cool to be identified as her and she. So if that be the case, then how can a person identify what you are if you're removing all these labels, removing all these pronouns? Because once again, pronouns is a part of our culture. Everybody culture, period. It don't matter your race or ethnicity or whatever. It is part of your culture, period. Pronouns exist, period. Pronouns is designed to be a identifier of a said gender. People use pronoun as an everyday conversation. Now, I know good and well that when people are saying he or she or they or whatever, I know good and well that people is not literally doing it with ill intent. They're doing it because this is how the way they've been taught since elementary school. So for a person who learned this since elementary school, then you've been programmed to be this way virtually all your life. All of a sudden, due to a certain lifestyle choice, that they have to literally reprogram their English language just to fit your lifestyle. Respectfully, I call that bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But y'all let me know, because like I say, when I hear this, every time I hear this talking point, right, I get very confused about it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I honestly believe we have grown, competent, and intelligent adults where we all, at the end of the day, want to be as respectable as possible towards each other so we all could coexist together. Right? So within us coexisting together, there are certain things that we're going to be judging each other over. Now, here's the critical part about that. When it comes to the point of judge each other, right, that's when the separation happens. Now, I want to also make this point too. In most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, when a person do give you a judgment, right, in most cases, people are not judging you just so they could tear you down or to say that they better than you. Most of the time when people judging you, they're making a certain type of observation, and they doing it simply because they want the best version for yourself. And they judge and they make this judgment based on their personal worldview, their personal upbringing. Now, there are also other nuances that I don't want to dismiss, that it do be other people who judge you because they're simply jealous of you. And I get that, and I can acknowledge that. But in most cases, people aren't like that. In most cases, when you deal with people, especially people who know you well, when they make a critical analysis of you, when they judge you critically, right, they doing it for your best interest. But let's continue, y'all.
But yeah, like I said, I was like always a deeply feminine being, and like, you know, that's really all that matters to me. You know, it's like I'm extremely happy in this body. Like I love my skin. I love.
Pam, I see you. Stop waving. You waving like every 10 minutes. I see you. Hey, Pam. Jeez.
I love waking up and being me every day. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, to walk into the, you know, bathroom and see yourself in the mirror and you're just like, that bitch, like, yes. Mm-hmm. Like, it's that for me right now. And so, like, you know, I'm just living it. You know, I'm just loving it.
One of the biggest storylines on your spinoff was, you know, you and your sister liking the same guy.
Honestly, that is ultimately what got the show picked up.
Well, wait a minute, what?
But also, you know, in terms of the gender and sexualities and stuff like that, it was very important because that happens. You know, I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
What the fuck? What? Wait a minute, what? He said that he's not attracted to gay men?
That's bullshit.
All right. All
All right, explain yourself, EJ, because I already know he figured out some crazy shit. All right, explain yourself, bro. So I won't make a bad judgment of this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, it's just, I think like if you ask any of the girls, like they'll tell you the same. And I think they're just labels. You know, that's why like I don't care what, you know, like I'm dating someone, I'm like, I don't care what you identify as or what you call yourself, as long as you're happy being who you are. But no, but to be honest, it's like that's why I don't go to gay clubs. I don't go to, you know, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there. And also like they're like, you know, they kind of like wave you off. You're just like, oh, that, you know, hey girl, like, you know, it's not, you're not in here like the rest of us are. You know, it's just, it's always, but it's, I never really understood it until now, because before when I would go and I just was like, there's something about this room. It's like, it's almost like they don't want me here. Like I'm not really in it here because I'm not presenting as a man. I'm not presenting in that way.
And to be clear, the gay community room.
Yeah.
Of your own community. Yeah.
But it's not like a shameful thing or just like, oh, they're mean to me. But it's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure. But like, these are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
So. So
the fuck
has
is
it
funny?
Always been that way for you in terms of when it comes to men? Has it always been what some people consider the straight guy always being the one that would approach you?
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, you know, women for most of their life or like up until then. For sure. Absolutely. It has always been that way, but now it's like even more so. Now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way. Because also like, it's like my energy is that.
Have your newfound, not newfound, that's wrong to use, has your sort of like, I like to call it a rebirth, because I feel like even talking to you now, you're like you said earlier, look, I know who I am. I love how I see in the mirror. I am shedding all of whatever I was there back then, who I am now. Has that cultivated a stronger relationship with your parents, or has it been challenging for you there too, just being, you know, how you are now?
No,
Nah, Carlos, we ain't gonna run away from that. You should have stayed on that one for real. Don't start talking about the relationship with his parents. He over here doing some crazy shit.
That's bullshit.
He need to go back and have him explain how is a straight man not gay. Because to my understanding, if a straight man is interested in him, do that not make him gay? Or we could argue to say that it'll at least make him be on the DL, right? So yeah, a DL man absolutely can like both men and women at the same time. Yes, that's possible. So I'm trying to figure out his mindset behind this. How in the hell, or how can you date a straight man? That's what I'm confused about. How can you date a straight man? Because a straight man is not going to be interested in another man, regardless if that other opposite man is cosplaying as a woman, regardless if that man have feminine energy like a woman. A straight man is not going to be attracted to another man, period. And if he is attracted to the other man, he simply is freaking gay or DL. What the hell? This is the reason why I said earlier, you know, dealing with this community, right, that they make things so overly complicated when they really don't need to be what it is. They do. They make it so complicated. So I don't know. Y'all in the chat, maybe y'all could want to help me out on this one, because I'm just utterly confused. I barely survived this gender identity thing that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? I barely survived that and kind of got a little clarity on that. But this right here, this makes
absolutely no damn sense whatsoever. You're either on the DL, you're either bisexual, or you're straight up gay. One or the other. You're not going to, a straight man is not going to be attracted to another man. And for him to say that, yeah, I go after the straight man. No, you do not. You simply go after gay or bisexual men or DL men, bro. Wow, crazy. Whew. I don't know, but y'all let me know in the chat how y'all feel about this, son. Do y'all understand where EJ is coming from on this, son? If you understand where he's coming from, then express that to me in the chat, and maybe you can help me out on this one, because I'm utterly confused on this for real. But let's continue. Oh, also, right now we got roughly about 307 people watching, probably 320 more, right? And we only got 55 likes, y'all. Only got 55 likes, y'all. So help me tonight to get the likes up to at least about 100, all right? If you're enjoying this thought-provoking conversation, and also you can see we're having this conversation, we're not attacking, we're not doing none of that. All we doing is giving an observation. That's all we're doing, give a critical observation and critical judgment. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're not attacking, we're not slandering, we're not doing none of that, all right? So if you're enjoying this great content right here at the Urban Lounge Podcast, man, go ahead and help support this channel. The biggest way you could help support this channel is simply just by liking this video, because it's going to let YouTube know that you want more of this thought-provoking content, okay? Now, here's another thing, too. Many people been expressing this to me. They've been saying, Urban, I'm subbed to your channel, right, bro? But why I'm not getting like notifications and stuff? The reason why is because of what I'm expressing right now. The moment when normally you sub up to this channel, right, and you hit that like button and you hit that notification button, that's when it's going to be a part of your For You page on YouTube, because YouTube is going to recommend it more and more of my content. So it is critical for you to go ahead and do what I'm instructing you to do. Hit that like button, hit that notification button, and you're going to get more and more of my content. And also what's going to happen is that you're going to start seeing my other content start popping up on your For You page as well, too. You're going to see previous episodes that I done did. You're going to see shorts that I put out every single day as well, too. And I want y'all to be a part of this experience. I want you to be a part of this experience in this community so you can interact, okay? But that's how it starts, by you liking. Thumbs up to live, all right? Hope I explained it to you. Because other content creators do not explain it to you at all, period. They just be ask you for a cash app, or they ask you for super chats and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
I think we're not challenging. I think everything, honestly, in this era of my life has become so much easier.
I think I'm gonna address some of the comments too later on too, right?
But even I told
Supreme,
them
what's up with it? Argue, what's up?
In June, that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay.
Hey, Argue, I remember that episode too. I remember that. That is a good reference. I remember that. Yep.
Like, and it was very freeing. And also it just was, it just was like, I wasn't like, I'm not, and it's very important, I think, too. When
Beta, what's up?
And I hate the term coming out, but I think when you're telling people
Ron, so with it.
About who you are telling them. I'm not looking for acceptance. I'm not looking for your validation. I am telling you what's going down. And yeah, we had that conversation, and it was, it was very easy, because I just told them, flat out, like, I was like, this is, who I am, and this is how we're moving and grooving and going forward. And, even like son, I was like, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there is Miss Thing. Like, we're not doing that either.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason why he decided to go along with this said lifestyle. It's not, that's why I say, I honestly believe it's not because he had feelings for, the same sex, right? It's not because of, he has some type of chemical imbalance that caused him to behave this way. It is simply because he had made a conscious decision that he wants to be rebellious against his father's legacy. He didn't want to be identified as Magic Johnson's son. Within that identifier, I'm pretty sure people was probably trying to recruit him to play basketball and all these other things, and he really didn't want to do it. Maybe he wanted to do something else. Maybe he wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh or something. I don't know. He wanted to do something different. And so instead of him expressing that and articulating that and telling his parents that, hey, I want to be different. I want to do different things. I want to write a book. I want to do whatever it is other than what my father did, right? Instead of expressing that, right, he decided to go to the extreme with it.
So, it wasn't like a big conversation, but I think what I loved about it was so easy, because we just said it and they were like, oh, okay. We'll do our best to understand that.
I'm beaming right now.
Yeah.
I think you could tell because I'm so proud of you. Not that you need me to say that, but I feel like you're freeing a lot of gay or however they like. Because I agree with you, is however you identify yourself. But I wish growing up I had someone like you.
I think we all wish, at least we all wish somebody was there, it doesn't matter who it is, like somebody to say something. Cause like, especially between our years, like we didn't have anybody.
No. And that's why this conversation to me is so important. Because people can watch this and say, finally, someone's saying something how I feel, because I got little
Hey, I agree. I'm reading your comment right now, and I'm trying to understand exactly what you're saying. So do me a favor. Do you mind rewriting that again, but kind of simplify it a little bit for me, all right? So I can understand your point. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, the hairs rose up on my skin when you said, I don't want to say coming.
Yeah, because I don't want to misjudge it. I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying, all right?
Out anymore. Like, this is who I am, and I don't even need your acceptance. Like,
I think it's important. It really is an important part of the discussion that no one, I don't think, is talking about. But like I said,
Oh, my bad. I should have specified. I'm talking about this comment right here that you just shared a few seconds ago. This is the one I'm talking about. So if you don't mind, go ahead and kind of rewrite it again for me where I can understand where you're coming from. And if you could shorten it out a little bit to the point that you're trying to make, then that would be perfect. All right. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Have to, if you're going to do something, do it for yourself, number one. And number two, when you go out, like, I think that's when everyone gets hurt, it's like, or everyone, has those traumatic experiences because they're hoping, they're searching for the validation, they're searching for the acceptance. And like, sometimes it doesn't come. And that's also okay. Like, if you need to be like, leave your home or leave your family, like whenever it is safe for you to do so, go, it's like, and also too, it's like that the idealized family, like, it doesn't exist. It is what you make of it. Like, you don't have to stay if everyone's treating you poorly. You don't have to be involved if you're not getting what you need. You don't have to do anything, honestly.
So the last thing you missed again on it is he had made a statement. He said that he only dates straight men, okay? And he also emphasized saying that only straight men is attracted to him, all right? And so we made a whole talking point where we're trying to figure out how in the world can a straight man be attracted to him. Would that literally make that straight man gay or bisexual? But according to EJ, he said, no, that man is just a straight man. He may like women, but he's a straight man, according to what EJ is saying.
And yeah, and I think like the image of, my family was nice and healing for the world, but it wasn't like I didn't struggle, there wasn't difficulties to get there,
Tamika, thank you so much for the gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also too, it's like you can't just like wipe away, just like understand that like, sometimes they're there and then sometimes they're not. And that doesn't make it doesn't make your story any less, powerful if you weren't given, if those, people aren't going to stand behind you
Yeah.
and give you that love that you need, then go find some other people who will.
Yeah. I've always wanted to ask you this because obviously, like I said, you're the offspring of a legend that is that was in a sport that is heavily male dominated, obviously, and just like, the locker room talk and
Masculine.
yes, hyper masculine. And
Hyper masculine.
I just remember, when you emerged and all of the talks about like, oh my God, Magic Johnson's son, instead of playing a basketball, he's wearing a dress and all those things. And a lot of it.
Nah, hold up. We're not going to run over this one. How in the hell can the action of masculine men be hyper masculine? How can they be hyper masculine? Explain that one to me. Now, I know that men could be hyper emotional. I understand that concept because that leads into the point of dealing with men who are beta males, men who are incels and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because them type of archetype of men tend to be hyper emotional. So I can understand being hyper emotional, but how can a man be hyper masculine? I don't know. I honestly thinking this dude does inventing words as he's going, man. I don't know, because it don't make sense to me. But once again, I'm asking these questions. Those of y'all in the chat, maybe you have a better understanding than me, and you can want to clarify that for me. All right? But let's continue.
Obviously, it was from the Black community. When it comes to the Black community, especially the gay Black community, did you feel like they accepted you?
Well, again, I wasn't really looking. Like there was just so much, that happened at that time that I wasn't like looking. Like I don't care about to be accepted in a community or to be a part of a community. I think that I just wasn't in it. Like I wasn't a part. When I was living my life, growing up, it's just like I was, I had school and I had all these places and I had my friends. It's like, if I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. These communities or these people are mad. Like, I'm like, let them be mad. But like, like I don't, it's just like, I really could care less. That's all I have to say. It's like, even when people were like, oh, I think somebody asked me like, oh, well, what did your church think? I was like, well, number one, I never had.
Hey, Queeb Logic, you asked this question, right? You said this, it should be hard for a heterosexual man to be watching something like him for longer than a few minutes. It is for me, I'm just saying. Now, I understand your perspective on this, and I kind of want to challenge the logic just a little bit, all right? And it's ironic your name, last part is Logic. Now, is it difficult to watch something like this as a heterosexual male? Absolutely it is. It is. And the reason why it's difficult is because I had stated this earlier that we as men, we have this thing that's built in us to be protectors and providers, right? Do you know that position of us being protector and providers, it not only deals with women, but it also deal with our brotherhood as well too. And so when we see our own brothers are transitioning into a way that is totally opposite of who we are, then guess what happens? We end up becoming disappointed in that said brother. So therefore, you end up, it becomes difficult. But however, and this is where I'm gonna challenge you on the logic part on this, all right? And like, I'm not picking on you, nothing like that. Just give you a perspective. What sets us apart is this. There's a thing, I don't know if you believe in the Bible, right? But there's a scripture in the Bible where it say, "Irons sharpens iron." Okay. What does that mean? It simply means that when you are in the foundational strength of being an actual man, a man of purpose, a man of destiny, knowing exactly who you are and your positioning of who you are as a man, you are built to handle every tough thing that has been thrown at you, period. Once again, you are built to handle anything that's been thrown at you, period, including this situation. Now, just because you're in this position and you witness this, right, it doesn't test your manhood. It doesn't test your manhood to make you think that I'm watching this dude long enough, he's going to make me become gay or bisexual or whatever. If that happens that way, then guess what? You was never connected to your divine energy as a masculine man to begin with in the first place. But when you are in your purpose, you have your foundation, you are stable. Situation like this, it's not going to bother your inner being, period. It's going to disappoint you because you see your brother like this, but it's not going to bother you. It's not going to shake your foundation at all, period. And that's the thing that I just wanted to give you a challenge on. I just wanted to challenge your logic on that. And you can respond back to that, by the way, too. Once again, shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. Appreciate you a whole lot. Tamika said 100. Appreciate it. Let's see. More say this. I'm confused about this same sentiment on the hyper masculinity. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how a grown male could be hyper masculine. I'm confused on that one. So.
At a church, like my parents went to church, but like I didn't go because I wanted to go. I wasn't a part of that community. I was there because I was made to be there. Like, you know, it is what it is, but it really doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Like, if your community is mad, then let them be mad. But I've always thought that was just stupid, that they thought that, like, you know, I was supposed to be playing basketball or something. Like, first of all, like, do you know how difficult it is to become an NBA player? Like, number one, it's like, it's a very hard process. And like, if I wanted to do that, then I would have done it. But like, why are we even having this discussion? It's just so ignorant, you know? And like, it's so, you have to put in a lot of work to do all of that. Like, I'm sure LeBron James's son, I mean, like, you know, he's been playing his entire life, like, and now he's playing, you know, he's in the NBA. But I'm like, that's something you would decide very early on in life. And like, why are we talking about, you know, that has nothing to do with me. Or even like, you know, I've always, you know, when it, you know, oh, well, black men need to be this and need to be, you know, macho and need to be this. And it was okay. Well, okay, what does anyone's femininity have to do with that? Who's stopping you from being this macho black man? Me or you? Because, you know, you're snapping your fingers in the air. What is stopping you, sir, from continuing to be you? What does you and me have to do with each other? Nothing. It doesn't make any sense.
See here, and he used another identifier as males. He's saying macho. And I done heard this before too, where this said community and also the feminist community as well too. They use the term macho male. I done heard the term about hypermasculinity. And then when they talk about this, right, they never go into details stating what makes a man hypermasculine. They only go in details about the man's action, meaning that, you know, he do manly things, which is part of his innate nature to do anyway. So it's not hyper when he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that. I don't understand that. Even the macho part. And normally when they talk about macho, they talk about the physical strength of a man in normal cases. So how is that a negative connotation when that's part of the man's overall innate nature? I would argue to say this, even though he's cosplaying to be whatever this is that he wanted to be, right, at the end of the day, he's still a masculine man. And you could say that he's a macho masculine man.
And I always would laugh if I saw that. I mean, I don't read any comments or articles, but like, at that time when like people were bringing it to my attention, I was like, well, what a stupid thing to say, because I'm like, I'm not hindering you from going on and being some toxic masculine black man. Like, I don't even know you. And it doesn't say anything about what it means to be a black man in America. Has nothing to do with it. I'm not a man. So like, I don't even feel like a man. So I'm like, why? What's stopping you from going on and doing exactly what it is that you think you should be doing? Nothing at all.
Preach, honey, preach. What were your thoughts when you saw what Dwayne Wade's now daughter was going through, transitioning into becoming the woman that she is now? Was it something that you could relate to? Did you reach out? Did y'all have a conversation?
We've met, I think twice. Not in any kind of like real like intimate setting, but just like, at some fashion events, I believe. And I've met obviously Dwayne, and I think we spoke on Instagram, and we're just like, if she needs anything, like, you can definitely let me know. And she went.
Hey, Audrey, thank you so much for clarifying it for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thank you for taking time out. So let me share it on the screen. Audrey, say this. When I'm asking if someone who doesn't know who EJ is in a male approach, he or she should EJ explain his sexual orientation because of a relationship. So in other words, you asking, should he identify himself as whatever it is that he's cosplaying to be? Now, me personally, I believe that since he is doing this, since he is cosplaying to be this type of person, that I believe that it's absolutely important for him to identify that with that person. Because if not, then what are you doing? You're literally being deceptive to that said man in that situation. Now, to be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up real as well, too. If a grown heterosexual male cannot look and tell that this dude is a man, then it is something wrong with this dude for real. There's something wrong with that dude. Or I'll put it to you this way. I dive in even deeper. If a grown heterosexual man immediately start talking to him, right, and continue on and talking to him, he is DL. He's not a straight man. He's straight DL. I don't care about no excuses. I don't care if you end up meeting him in the club. Oh my God, Urban, I was in the club. I was drunk and I messed around and accidentally hit on a trans man or hit on, whatever, a trans or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I was drunk. Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Nah, bro. Even if you drunk or whatever stuff, you could still tell if this dude is a man or a woman. It's part of your biology to tell the difference between a man and a woman, regardless if you're drunk or not, bro. So you literally, I'm putting it this way. The alcohol in your system just gave you courage to something that you already was identifying yourself to be, which is a DL man. Let's keep it real. But let's continue. But appreciate that. I appreciate you clarify that for me, all right?
Went to my high school as well. So, yeah, we have some similarities. But, I mean, it was just one of those things where it's like, more power to you. You got to do what you got to do. It's one of those things where it's like there's nothing really I can say or do, because, like, that's your journey.
Yeah.
And they also said some horrible and stupid things about her. And the same thing, there were so horrible, stupid things they were saying about me. So it's like, here we are again. But it's like, it's like, that's why when you narrow it down, it's like, I'm not going up against anything that I actually really need to be concerned about, because these are all everybody else's fears and everybody else's, concerns and everybody else's viewpoints of the world that are being challenged by somebody living their truth or living their life the way they want to live it. Like, it's just absurd. It's just absurd. But I'm happy that she's happy. And I'm not sure what she's doing with her life at this point, but, I wish her the best.
Yeah. Are you dating now?
I am outside.
Outside.
Definitely outside.
Gotcha.
I had to get a little more serious, though, I think, in this new year, for sure. I think before I was kind of just like enjoying myself and kind of just like dating to date, but now I'm being much more strategic about it. And it's like, if we're not actually going to enter into a relationship, then, you know, and I think that's where you have to put the boundaries up with the so-called straight guys, because they'll just try to like put you off to the side or like keep you in the dark. And like, I'm not living in the shadows anymore.
Have you ever dated somebody that was DL?
Sure, for sure. I think at the time it's just like you just are like, oh well, you know, I'm just trying to be respectful, but really you're not doing yourself any respect.
Were they married?
No, I've never dated a married man or anybody in a relationship.
Okay.
It's just like they just weren't ready to come to terms with whatever they were doing. But that's what I was saying. I don't need you to come out or anything, but it's like I'm not going to be hidden. So there's that, you know, and just have.
So the answer to the question, yes, you had dated a lot of DL men. You never dated a straight man, period. They all been DL or bi.
Having that self-respect and just, yeah, knowing that.
Shut up, bro. Sit up here trying to, I see what you're trying to do, trying to use my talking points against me. Quiet.
But it's made everything a lot easier, for sure.
Have you ever been in love?
I think like probably at the time I thought so, but not like now that I'm actually like emotionally available and actually can fall very hard in love if given the opportunity, not in the way that I want to. I haven't experienced it in the way that I want to. So like that's definitely something I put into the energy for this year for sure, because I'm ready. I wasn't ready before. You know, and I think that was just kind of like the maturity of it, and just like looking at self, you know, instead of saying like, well, why hasn't this happened to me? But it's like, you weren't ready.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't ready at all.
Do you have a type?
I don't really have like a strict type. I will say like, I know I'm tall, but like I do like being with a tall man. Yeah. That I do. I like the sensation of that. But I'm also like very like intellectually inclined. Like I love a man who can hold himself and like speak well and like is entertaining and is like, really highly intelligent. Like I'm
Man, say Shover. So apparently this is a popular balloon episode now. Shoot, I don't know what the hell. Hey, y'all in this comment sitting up here tripping. Y'all in this comment sitting up here roasting this dude for real, bro. Y'all cut it out in the comment section. Y'all cut it out, bro.
Conversationalist like that. So like that kind of like,
damn.
You know, especially, and also like a man with like a presence. Like I love a powerful presence. Like when you're like, ooh, he has it like that. Like I like that.
Have you ever dated like a celebrity?
I've never dated a celebrity, I don't think. I may have like hooked up with one or two in the shadows.
The hell
Rappers?
that mean? No, put some receipt on it so I can do a reaction show. No, don't hold back. Identify them DL celebrities that be trying to hide. Yeah, identify them DL celebrities, bro, so we can do a reaction show on that. Cause I'm just saying.
I can't tell you all the tea.
They must have him sign an NDA for sure. Cause shoot, he don't want to put a name behind it.
I know, baby. I know.
I don't think there was a rapper. Might have been.
Put a name on it, bro. We need some content.
No, because look, you, baby, the places I go, you ain't there, honey, because you are at the like.
Well, that's the thing about, like, so she was having celebrity crushes. Like, you can't do that because I actually do meet these people. So, like, and I've done that before, but like, oh, he is so fine. And then I meet him. I'm like, oh, like, oh no. Like, you are, very insecure, or you're very this, or you're very that. So it's like, I don't crush or glamorize anybody anymore because it's like, I always end up, just being like, okay, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm just like, I'll just meet the person but it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's different when you are, coming into contact with the people all the time.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have roughly about 460 people in the building. Well, actually, it's more than that. We almost got, we're pushing about 500 now people in the building. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the stream tonight. Hey, but we only got 85 likes, y'all. We only got 85 likes. Look, even if you're watching in the bushes, okay, even if you're not even sub up to this channel, which I highly recommend that you do, so you can be a part of these conversations that we're having in this chat right now, okay? But with that being said, we need to get our likes up to 100, okay? Get our likes up to 100. If you're enjoying this content, which I know you are, because if you wasn't enjoying it, you wouldn't be over here. You'll be watching some other person, but you're here at the lounge right now and enjoying it. So get them likes up to at least 100, y'all, to show that you support this channel. We're currently at 96 right now, man. I would need us a couple of more likes, man. Don't be having me sound like a one of these what do they call that? Y'all remember did they call it a marathon where they be sitting up here asking for donations and shit? I'm not talking about Dr. Umar. Donations, gifts. but when they be sitting up here trying to ask money so they can feed Africa and that bullshit, I kind of sound like that a little bit, but no. I'm just trying to get some likes, man, for real. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. We're now at 108 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all a whole lot. Now we are about 51 minutes into this interview, right? So we're almost done. All right. So let's go ahead and listen in more.
And the thing about you have a presence.
I love having a presence, but I like a man with a presence as well. Like I like feeling somebody's like powerful masculine energy. Like it's very intoxicating. But I do have a powerful presence, which intimidates a lot of men.
Yeah.
Which is great. But because it keeps the ones at bay. But that's why I can't do the apps, because I can't gauge your energy through the phone. That's why I tried, but it's like I felt like they were so insecure, and it was not the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very important that I can gauge someone's energy when I meet them in person, because presence is important.
Well, and you have tons of it.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
You really do. I know you in a room, EJ. I know you be. I can already tell. The moment y'all lock eyes, it's over. Because you have you have a very smoldering look in the eye, and I know you can eye fuck like a motherfucker. I'm confused on the
powerful presence for it too, bro. I don't know.
I think they do that to me first, and then I might glance back. But that's how I always know when some man is because I always catch him staring, and then he goes back. But I always catch them staring. It's because they're just
the guy was so with it, man.
And then I'm looking over, and then they're oh, and then they go back. But I always catch them when they're staring. I always know, because they literally freeze. It's like Medusa, they just turn to stone. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if he makes his way over here.
Do they have to, or
I need you to make an effort, because it's every time I feel when I go over and I'm because I played the game where I find something stupid to compliment them about, even though I'll be oh, I like your jacket, even though their jacket is ugly. And I'm, and then it's I feel I get over there and then it's he's, and I'm I don't have time for this. I don't want to do all the work. I'm not going to do all the work. I'm not even going to say I don't want to, because I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so tall, masculine, available.
Yes, very available. Yeah.
Confident.
And I need you to like yourself, to love yourself. People are so mean to themselves these days.
I know, because of social media. Everyone's sort of comparing themselves to people.
Yeah, it's
unfortunately.
I met some guys who are just so mean to themselves. I'm Jesus,
Now, you are EJ fucking Johnson, so do they have to have a coin?
Well, I need to be taken care of, obviously. I mean, if I
no, he's not EJ fucking Johnson, no, because he said that
he had a problem with living the legacy of his father's name. So no, don't give him that identifier that he's part of that legacy. We could have simply call him EJ at this point. He's EJ, not EJ Johnson. So if you got an issue with that, stop using that. Stop using the Johnson name. Be your own man, or wherever it is you're trying to be.
But Ethan, you got money.
If I could, well, I'm not taking care of anyone. Like, I'm not a sugar mama. No, like I don't. That the girls, you don't marry to take care of him. Like, he's marrying to take care of you. I mean, it just depends on what you want. But he's not marrying into my system. We're getting married and starting our own system. It's different. But I have to be clear about that. But like, I don't want to be like just only thinking about money, but like it is something that, I guess a lot of people spend time like obsessing over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But honestly, again, it's not like I'm looking for that. But again, it's like you said before, these are the rooms I'm in. So
you want to know what's interesting about this, brothers? Now over here, right? Once again, we talk about a lot of red pill content, right? Within the red pill content, we talk about a lot of relationships, things that we deal with, right? And it's fascinating that when it's all said and done, with them cosplaying to be whatever it is that they want to cosplay to be, right? Is it fascinating at the end of the day that they still are having the same relationship problems as a heterosexual man? Isn't that interesting? Because to my understanding, one of their talking points was this. One of their talking points was saying that, hey, dealing with heterosexual men, right? Heterosexual men tend to be toxic. Heterosexual men tend to be abusive, which we can say that there are many heterosexual men that can be that way. Absolutely. Not doing that, what I'm saying? But, however, when it comes down to it, they are still dealing with the same damn problems as though as a heterosexual man dealing with women. At the end of the day. They still dealing with courtship issues. They still dealing with 50-50 like he was explaining earlier. They dealing with reciprocating. All these things just not change. Just because you decide to identify as a new gender. Still the same. So that should bring it to our attention that this issue dealing with dating and the dating market and all the stuff there, that should be the main issues that we should be focusing on. I'm just saying, but of course that's just me.
Everyone's either born into a coin or made their coin. The coins are there. The rooms are made of coins. So it's like, I don't have to like go out of my way to find financially substantial men. That's all.
Daily Joe was so with it.
What are your thoughts on this? Like you touched on it a bit earlier. The whole like Nepo baby. And listen, and I've said this publicly, there's nothing more than I love seeing rich black kids. Because I feel like, good. Because you don't see it often. And when you see it, and I feel like it should be celebrated more. I love rich black kids because I'm like, good. Your parents work their asses off. You have a good life, and take that shit and continue to build the generational wealth. But obviously, there's another side globally where people do feel like you didn't earn this, and listen, let's call it without. A lot are jealous. And a lot of them just feel like it's easy for you guys. What are your whole thoughts on that?
Well, like I said, it's not easy. It's like, it's not easy. Because I'm just saying either way, like I was saying about the shadow, it's like the same complaint or the same difficulties arrive even if your parents are not even famous, they're just very wealthy. Like, you still have a shadow to work under. And like, I didn't even realize that. But like, I was talking to a guy whose dad was, they're older money, but like also his dad was like, a very well-known producer. And he was like, I hate it. I hate when everyone is like, oh, I worked with your dad and he was great, or I did this with your dad and he was wonderful. He's like, I hate it. I can't stand it. And I was like, well, why does it bother you so much? And he's like, because like I have my own things going on and nobody wants to talk about that. We're just talking about this. We're just
Wait a minute. What the hell? Shit.
That's bullshit.
So it is due to jealousy. So when another person is literally giving your parents, whether it's your father or your mother or whoever it is, your legal guardian, whoever it is, right? When they're literally giving them their flowers, right? And they literally doing things that is positive for the community. You mean to tell me that it pisses you out so much so that you have to rebel against it, that it have to be you? What the hell? Oh, I don't know, man. Because it's so many people that are out there be hoping and praying that they be in a position where you in or have the opportunity as you have right now, or other gentlemen who's in the same position that they be praying that they have these opportunities. And instead of just honoring that and respecting that for what it is, you want to be selfish. I don't care about that. It ain't me. Once you talk about me.
talking about him. And I was like, yeah, I used to feel that way until I, had to get, I put myself first in my own life. And then it didn't matter what anyone's saying to me on the street, But I mean,
yeah, Reggie, but I'm still what you said first time
listen,
around.
It's one of those things where it's like a double-edged sword. Like you can't win. You can't win because on one hand you get the people who are like, oh my God, that's great. You have, you have all this money, you have a leg up, or you can do whatever you want. But like, then you have the people who are like, well, you didn't work. Well, you didn't, especially like, the actors, like those kids who come from, who have huge parents are huge actors, like they can't catch a break. Because on one side, everyone's loving it. On the other side, we're like, oh, well, you're taking roles away from people who've worked many, many years to, be an actor. And now you're just coasting on, riding it on some coattail. But it's like, that's something I can't control. I can't control who my parents are. Like, I didn't control who my dad was. Like, I just was born and that was it, So it's like, it's all you get it from both ends. But like, I just don't even.
But, okay. He's saying that he can't control who his parents are, right? Now, once again, in this live, I had stated this. If it's that serious for him, why not he re-identify himself? Not only this cosplaying thing that he's doing right now, but why not re-identify himself all the way? Remove the name Johnson from your vocabulary, from your birth certificate, since you're a legal adult and you can do that. Because I had made the point earlier that Kanye West does this. He does this whenever he feel like it. One day he Kanye West, the next day he's Ye, the next day he's Ho, or whatever the hell he want to be. And he could do that because he's a grown adult. And he wanted to be identified a certain type of way. So if that be the case, right, if it's bothering you and your counterparts that badly that you don't want to live under that legacy that your parents have built for you and you want to be that entitled, become a grown adult and change your identity all the way. Change your name. Change it to a new name where nobody don't know who you are. Exit out of them circles that your entitled ass is a part of and be a part of normal circles. Go to a certain area like majority of the stuff is over in Los Angeles, in that area and stuff, right? Leave out of Los Angeles. Pull up in an area like Nebraska. Go to Nebraska. Go to fucking Nebraska. And start a whole new life in Nebraska. With your new identified name, where you don't have nothing tied into Johnson or nothing like that. You have a new name. But guess what? It's not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, the deeper issue is that they want to keep all the benefits and the entitlements, but they don't want to be associated with the family. And that is crazy as hell. Crazy.
I don't really think about it. But I, for myself, even as I'm like, acting is definitely on the top of my list for this year to get into way more of. But like in my time off, I've been in acting classes, and literally I told myself, I was like, you're going to need to like really train, because they will say that about you.
Yeah.
They will be like, oh, you're only here because, and there were kids in my acting class who said that. Well, you don't really need to be here. You don't really have to do this.
They would say that today.
I mean, like in my acting class when I was there, they were like, oh, girl, you don't have to be here because like, you'll get booked regardless. You'll do, you already have it made. And I'm like, yeah, but like, number one, being booked to just get booked is not my.
And I find that very fitting too. Because earlier, before many of y'all came in earlier, we didn't even know what the hell was EJ occupation. And so now he's identifying, say that he's an actor. And I find that very fitting that out of all the occupations in the world that he could choose to become, he chose to be an actor. The same thing that's going to give him exposure. But yet still, you don't want to be a part of the legacy of your father. You don't want to be a part of the limelight. You don't want to have all these interactions, these connections.
Goal. Like I want to be great, and that's why I'm here. But also because like I want to do the work. It's like I want to be the best I can be. This has nothing to do with just riding a coattail.
Man, baby, I have no idea.
If I really believed that, then I wouldn't be here. I would have just been calling all our connections and agents and all of our friends who, our family friends who are producers or in the industry, like, but I didn't do that. So it's like, it's just one of those things that like you can use however you want to use it. If you, use your connections if you want, and then leave it. Cause it's like, it doesn't matter what the public is thinking, cause there are always going to be those two sides of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'll say this public, so I don't give a shit. I want more black Nepo babies to use their connections. Like cause the thing is this, listen, historically, the white kids did it. And I'm not, and let's be clear, I'm not mad at it. Do it.
And here it comes, y'all. Now it's about race. It's about race now. All right, bet.
But I do feel like when it comes to our community,
do you think that they're not using it?
They are using it.
No, the black kids though. You think they're not using their connection?
I feel like the thing is, they're not using it and being like, fuck you. Like, have no fucks to give if you are. Like, for example, Lori Harvey, who obviously is Steve Harvey's daughter.
Oh, you are.
And she recently appeared on the Hulu show Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt.
I read about that.
And did a great job. Like, did a wonderful job. But to me, it's sort of like, sure, did she get a leg up? Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, we're not going to pretend like that wasn't the case. But in her defense, everybody, EJ was like, oh, this bitch can act. And they were pleasantly surprised by it, right? And she did an interview, I believe it was on The Real Jennifer Hudson, and she acknowledged that, look, he is my dad. I get it. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. I think for me, it was just like one of those things that's like, listen, you can book me on a role because of my last name. Like, that is completely your right. The casting directors, the producers, or whatever, you can book me however, for whatever reason you want to. But it is my responsibility to give an unforgettable performance, to give a powerful performance that is remembered, and so they can say, oh, that bitch really can act.
Yeah.
That's my job. So I did my part. Like, I've done the work. Like, I'm confident in my skills and my talent. So therefore, when the camera starts rolling, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Now and in the comment section, you can say whatever you please. Like, that's on all of you. But it's like, again, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
It's like, he is my dad, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, same thing in her case. It's like, what do you, it's like, people just need to be mad about something, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, everyone needs, they always have to be mad about something, Shale, in the comments. Like, it's very sad. I feel sad for those people. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
No, it's not the point that people are mad in the comments because of your chosen lifestyle. It's the point that you literally cosplaying your lifestyle. Now, to be honest with you, I could totally accept any individual who decides to take on the journey of the LGBTQ community and you doing it strictly because it's something, either it's strictly because it's something you want to do or it's biological in nature, as y'all would say. And I could accept that. But what I don't accept is the whole concept when you have individuals like EJ cosplaying to do it simply because he's trying to prove a point, simply because he's trying to be this different image other than the image with his father. Then yeah, I have an issue with that because now at this point you're not doing it genuinely. And I also want to bring this point too, because here's another misconception. We got over 400 something people watching the stream right now, and I can guarantee that majority of them are heterosexual males, so as you call them, cis males. Okay. I guarantee that at the end of the day, none of these dudes do not give a damn about anybody being part of the LGBTQ community. Because we know at the end of the day, it does not affect our lifestyle whatsoever. But what we don't like is this. We don't like when either the LGBTQ community teaming up with modern feminist women and sit up here trying to emasculate us. And sit up here trying to say that you're better than us. That's what we don't like. And that's when we speak up against it. That's the only issue. But other than that, we don't give a damn. We don't care. It's not affecting us. It's not affecting our life. It's not affecting our well-being. It's not affecting us on, getting money or anything like that. It's not affecting our families or nothing like that. We don't care. It's not that serious. I'm just saying. Those y'all in the comment section right now, do you agree with what I'm saying or do you disagree with that particular point? Because I believe that needs to be addressed for real. It needs to be reemphasized over and over again so people can understand our positions as men on this issue. And I'm gonna throw it out here as well too. And I know earlier, the one brothers that was literally roasting the hell out of EJ in the comments. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also gonna put it this way, brothers. At the end of the day, even though this dude decides to cosplay as a woman, at the end of the day, this dude is still our brother. He's still part of the brotherhood, even though he decided to choose this lifestyle. And so whenever situations like this happens to our fellow brothers, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we should get righteous judgment on it. But at the same time, this should also literally hurt our heart because our brother has fallen. We should be like, God damn, this is fucked up. This dude decided to be this way, man. You should have some type of empathy for your fallen brother. I'm not saying through your empathy that you should accept what he chose to do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that as a brother, when you see your fellow brother has fallen like this, yeah, you should have empathy because this is your brother. Y'all know as men, we deal with bullshit every single day. We deal with bullshit with culture. We deal with bullshit with society. We literally be carrying our crosses every single day dealing with stuff. So y'all should understand what I'm telling y'all right now. So that's how I see it. I see it as another brother who has fallen. And, I'll be like, God damn, woe is me with this dude. I don't agree with it. I don't accept it, but damn.
It's just like, wow.
So so the goal for you in 2026, you're in acting classes.
Even with Carlos, this is one of our brothers too. He decided to take on this path as well too. It's one of our fallen brothers.
So movies, TV shows, you want to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been training since like 2018, so it's been like 7 years now or 8 years now. So yeah, it's gotten to the point where I'm ready to handle bigger roles and bigger opportunities. But yeah, definitely television, movies, like
Reggie Bland, you asking what movie shows had EJ acted in so far? He said that he was part of some type of reality show, something like that. I forgot what's the name of it. That's the only one I could think of, but yeah. I haven't seen him in no movies or anything like that, to my understanding.
You know, I've got my eye on a couple of projects that are casting currently and soon, and so I'm just going full force. I'm just like super excited about it.
Do you know what I see you doing?
What?
All's fair. I see you being like a paralegal.
Yeah, baby, I agree.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay.
No, I mean, some people like it.
Oh, I love it. It's camp. But I'm saying
It's very campy.
I see you, baby, being a paralegal, and you are like that paralegal who was like very stern, and the fashion's there, and you know, like
I love this character already.
No, so Ryan Murphy, please take it. But like, I see you being like how Diane Carroll was.
But that's my character. Like, yeah. I want to be the Dominique Devereaux of like some show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that. We need it. We need it. One place where we really do need it. We need it on White Lotus. We need a rich black bitch, like really badly. Like, we need that. I mean, come on.
Yes,
I love Natasha. Love it that she was working there. I'm glad she added color, but we need the rich black bitch, like really badly.
Because they exist.
Because they exist. But I think that they're afraid because they don't know that world, because there's so few of us in the world who actually like really move and groove in that way.
Did you feel like that growing up? Like, were there a lot of black kids in the schools you would go to or vacations?
Yeah, I mean, like there was a few, but it's like, number one, it's like we all knew each other, like growing up, especially like, you know, like a lot of us, especially the ones who were like in the same age group, like, you know, like we all kind of grew up together. So even if we didn't go to school together, like we knew of each other.
Like the Wayans or like?
The Washington kids and I are like close in age. Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
So I grew up with his daughter, Olivia. We're like a year apart. The Jacksons, Samuel Jackson's daughter is a couple years older than me. Like we're very close. Like, you know, like I grew up with all of those kids.
Okay.
And also like some I came to know later, but like it's honestly like this.
Yeah.
And like I said, like we all know each other. We all know the players. Like, you know, if you know, everybody goes to everybody's birthday parties and like events and stuff, but it's like it's a very small community. But it's like I just, you know, the writers and the producers, like they just don't know, you know. And I think we've always just like missed the opportunity for rich black people, affluent black shows. And like, I want something so badly. Yeah. Like every time I watch one, I'm like, no, this is not it. This isn't it. It's like, you know, Empire was a little more street. Mm-hmm. It wasn't not the refinement of it all, which was fine.
Wait a minute, he was on Empire? I shouldn't have known.
And then there was a British one I watched on Amazon, which was also
or he's saying these are the type of shows that he watch. Did he say he was on Empire, or that was the show that he watched? Because if he was on there, I don't know. Because I never got into Empire, y'all. Well, maybe y'all watched that show when it was out, but I couldn't get into that show at all, man. I couldn't. Even the spin-off shows that they had, like I believe it was like the Book of Ghosts or something like that. Or I just couldn't get into it at all, man.
About the hair care.
Yeah, yeah.
That one wasn't right. That one didn't read, and that one that was supposed to be about the Hamptons. I'm like, this is not how people of this caliber behave. Like, no, that's just not. There's no. The class isn't there. The refinement isn't there. The language isn't there. Like, you know. And also, as I'm also getting into writing too, I think I just have to write my own.
I was going to say the reason why it's not there is because first of all, you're right. You have to have a lived experience to even know that exists. And number two is because you haven't written it yet.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I am working on it for sure. But it's very true. Because it's like no one would really know because it's like the doors are closed.
Okay, better. Appreciate that. Thank you for clarifying that for me, because I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Gotcha.
For anybody to find out like what it really looks and feels like, to be honest. But a lot of it has to do with also
appreciate y'all clarifying that for me.
Learning how to flourish in the white world, because like your schooling and those communities, you're going in with like the elite of the white world, the Caucasian world as well. And that's very important to learn how to not only be, but also flourish, because these are the kids you're competing with. These are the kids you're learning with. These are the kids you're growing with. Like, and that's a whole other stratosphere.
You have to write this.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I am working on it.
Is fashion still your passion?
Fashion, we're also doing big things in 2026 as well. I'm working on some more projects, I guess. But what I'm really coming to terms with is like, it's a legacy. This is going to be, the stuff I'm working on is a long burn. I'm building companies and empires and things of that nature. This is not just like, oh, here I am being cute, or here I am.
You know what? That is very interesting that he mentioned about legacy. Okay. That he mentioned about legacy. So I want to bring this next talking point, and I want to get your perspective on this. Okay. Now, throughout this whole conversation, he been talking about his father legacy. He been talking about these certain identifiers, right? He was saying that he does cringe every time when people would ask him about his father and about, things that his father doing, his works that his fathers did, and he'll cringe when people say, "Are you going to fulfill your father's legacy?" Right? And so his response is that he decided to be rebellious against the said legacy and write his own path. Now, here's my question. Let's say in a hypothetical world that EJ decide to not only find this man that he's looking for, right, but he decides that he's going to get married to this man that he's looking for, right, and to top it off, right, we know that biologically speaking, he cannot procreate with another man unless he's dealing with a trans man, which he clearly said that he's not interested in trans men. So the only way for that to happen is for him to adopt a child. So once again, here's my question. Let's say in the same scenario, this child is growing up. He's seeing the legacy of EJ. My question is, do y'all believe that he's going to educate his child the same exact way? Or is he going to allow his child to choose his own path as well too? And I want y'all to think about this critically before you answer that question. The reason why is because if he decides to quote unquote train his child in the same manner as him, guess what he's doing? He's doing no different from his father did to him. So in that point, right, if he does that, right, guess what he is? A hypocrite. Am I lying? Because I'm pretty sure once we enter into that level of being a parent, every parent wants the best for their child, period. Regardless of how that child is, regardless if it's a birth child, regardless if you're orphaning a child, or wherever path you decide to take, right? Every parent wants the best for their child, period. Within them wanting the best, they going to directly or indirectly teach them the ways that they should follow. Now, once again, if he decides to do that, that will make him be a hypocrite. Because remember, in the beginning, where he said, I don't want to do all this stuff because I didn't want to be the shadow of my father, Magic Johnson.
Now you have a child, right? Imagine your child saying the same damn thing. I don't want to be in the shadow of EJ, but EJ's turning like, no, it is okay because this is what I did. I did this and that and that, and you should do this and that and that too, or similar. And that'll make him be a hypocrite. But y'all let me know what you think.
Launching this stupid product or, you know, selling some bullshit on Instagram. Like, I'm not that girl. Like, I really am interested in having powerful dialogues and creating meaningful companies that are actually really going to benefit, you know, everyone, not just, you know, the fashion community. But also, we don't have a queen. We don't have a reigning queen coming to talk to everybody, tell everybody what's cute, what's not cute, what's ugly, and what, you know, what works and what is not working. And I've been waiting and I've been praying for someone to come along for many years now. And then finally I looked at myself and I was like, bitch, I think it's you. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I don't want to do it, but
why not?
But no, I have to do it.
Okay, thank you.
I have to do it. Yeah, we don't have anybody. Anna's out. Everyone's out.
Andre Leon Talley passed away.
I know. And like, I really wish, I'm like, girl, like if I could just like bring you back and give you the crown so then I don't have to do the work, like I'd rather that. But I think he's like,
I agree. That's a good point.
I think about him a lot. And like, I've read a lot of his books and read his documentaries. And like, I feel like that bitch is like guiding me. Like, I'm feeling he's like, you gotta get to work, bitch. I'm like, all right, bitch, I'm doing it. But I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a talent. I actually bought one of his jackets at auction a couple years ago, right after he passed. And like, it's one of my most prized possessions. I love it. It's really beautiful.
No, but the thing is this, I feel like this is your time and your season.
It is.
You know, you took, when EJ in the City did not come back, what I love about you is there's not a thirsty bone in your body.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you allowed yourself to just like enjoy life and be a human. And I feel like in the past recent months, your Instagram is back activated. The photos that, yes, EJ, I'm on.
Thank you.
Honey, the photos. The portfolio you're building.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
That was my first goal, was to get a handle on that. Because that's why I hated posting for so long. Because, like, you know, I did that. I was at the forefront when people were posting looks. And, like, I was at the beginning of that before it was even, like, a thing. You know? It's like, so, like, I couldn't continue on just doing it to do it. And I wasn't going to compete with all these other, you know, these other bitches who think that they're bomb and they're not bomb. And, like, I just had to find a way to tell the story the way that I wanted to. And I was like, oh, well, you know, what don't we have? Oh, we don't have a fabulous fashion magazine anymore because, like, you know, nobody reads. And, you know, we don't have, these magazines are not putting in the budget and the effort to create these beautiful magazines that we grew up with. And I was like, that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to make it very high editorial. You know, all of the Harper's Bazaars and the Vogue shoots that I was obsessed with as a kid. And I'm going to tell the story and also show this highest version of myself through that lens that I've always loved. And that's where I kind of got on that. And so now I'm going to start adding video component. So now we'll do some more talking. We'll do some more, you know, kind of showing and educating, because I think that's also very important. People are really missing the mark right now. Like, I'm glad everybody's at the table. You know, social media and the fact that, like, you know, everything kind of just blew up and, like, you know, everyone's at the table with fashion. Because before, like, you know, especially when I was, like, you know, moved here in the, you know, 2010 in college and in the early blog days, it's like that door was like closed.
Yeah.
Like, if you it was impossible. You had to get, you know, an Anna Wintour or somebody to come and be like, oh, you can come in. But everyone, you know, everyone was very like, oh no. And so now that all blew up and everyone's here, we have to start talking about dressing appropriately for everybody and finding what works for everybody and, you know, telling a different story, because, you know, we're gender inclusive, we're body conscious and all of these things now, which is lovely. But, like, you know, let's start, you know, finding the best version of ourselves and our best styles, which I think is being missed. Because nobody, I don't think, has the eye or the knowledge or the capability to really have those conversations.
You need to be the Met Gala.
I mean, it's
What was that?
it's such a circus right now. Like, oh my God, the outfits are so bad. Jesus Christ. But I told myself, I was like, should the invitation come, we can go just once, just to go. But it's really horrible. Like the red carpet. I know I'm like the only one who really like it looks at this with such a strong eye, but I'm like, I cannot.
But that's why we need you, because again, we don't. Again,
I know.
You have the eye.
I know.
And you need to be part of the committee.
I just can't with the Halloween costumes. Like I'm really over it.
Not Halloween.
I'm really over it. No, it really is. It's like the Halloween parade. It's not cute. It's like, like take me back to like, Rihanna showing up in the giant yellow silk coat with the fur rim. Yes. Like that time when everyone was really doing it. Respect to that Met Ball.
What girl is doing it for you right now in the fashion department?
I have to give it only to myself because like I'm the only girl. I swear I'm the only girl that I can gag myself. I'm sorry to everyone else. I can only give the crown to me. I'm very, very sad about that because I wish I could. I really wish I could give it to somebody else. But like honestly, like I'm the only person where I'm like, yes, bitch, you're really doing it. Like, even when I put this outfit together, I was like, yes.
I lost everything. Like, why shall look at?
Like, I was like, I'm loving it.
You are a bad bitch.
I know. I mean, like, I have to give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's like I'm at the point where I'm kind of just like giving homage to when everybody was at their height. Like I'm not a person who's just like, oh God, like I hate that bitch because she never gets it right. But like I'm just like early Rihanna. Yes. Like 2010 to like 2017, like yes. Those looks I like to look back on. I like to look back on those looks a lot. They're great. And I mean a lot of people talk a lot of shit about Kim and but she had that one period from like 2015 to like 2017 where bless Kanye, I don't know what's going on with him, but when he was a part of it, the looks were great.
Can I tell you something? And this is me telling you the God's honest truth. I was literally talking to somebody maybe 2 months ago, and for some reason, one of Kim's looks came on my feed, and I went down the rabbit hole of these iconic looks that were ahead of its time. Like one time was like a late.
Morris, yes, this question, isn't that a male trait, having a big ego? No, that is not a male identifying trait. That is a human trait. Okay, so both genders, men and women, could have an ego. I would argue to say that women have the biggest ego depending on the circumstances that they're dealing with. Okay, men tend to have egos when it's dealing with their basic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? When it's identifying them as character and strengths and status. You know what I'm saying? But women tend to have the biggest ego due to their emotions. They tie their ego into the way they're feeling. Okay. So yeah, once again, to answer that question, it's not just a male trait. It's both gender trait. It's both man and woman who could have egos. Okay.
Text dress.
Oh, we almost done, by the way, too, y'all.
And I'm just like, and it was hot pink, and I'm like aviator glasses, and I'm like,
oh, you're welcome.
Wait a minute, this was like everything, and then I was like, oh, this is the Kanye era.
Yeah.
Who listen, I'm only talking about his genius in terms of like fashion.
No,
with Kim.
I have to give the credit when it's due. And he really, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea. I'm not, condoning any of the messaging that he's been putting out because it's been just ugly and crazy.
Yes.
But it is the loss of a great, it's almost like a passing. It is almost like a passing because he was an incredible eye for style. You really couldn't beat it. He had an incredible eye for style and fashion. You look at his looks, the looks he put her in at the time. Like, I mean, wow. Like, he really was brilliant. It is just, it's just a mourning of a loss, to be honest. It's just like, wow. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I had to co-sign that one.
Yeah.
I literally was talking about that recently.
Yeah, it's really that just like, for her, it's just that one fashion week. Unfortunately, it was the fashion week she got robbed. But the looks of that fashion week,
I have to go back and look.
Dressed. dress.
All right, so EJ, let the girls know what is next for you. How can they support you, follow you, all those things?
You can follow my Instagram. Keep your eye on me. Yeah, like I said, it's like there'll definitely be some acting moments coming very shortly. They've got video content coming in on the socials. Right now I just have Instagram, but I've been talking about adding like a TikTok and some other things. So I think that that's probably somewhere down the line as well. But yeah, totally keep involved because we're literally just getting started. Like there's just like so many fabulous things that like we're getting ready to do, and like both in the short term and the long term. So
Now, keep in mind, all this happening because he's pandering his father's name or Griffin his father's name.
all the terms are covered.
Products, projects, the whole thing. You're not here for a short time, you're here for a long time.
Yeah.
And I love that about you. Like you're, again, I keep saying this, but I think in a world where people feel the need to just put themselves out there for the sake of being out there and afraid of being irrelevant, I love the fact that you're more focused on like building a foundation that lasts, you know, even after years of you. And,
Yes.
and that's amazing.
Yes, I think right now the world is so focused on fast. Everyone, fast money, fast, you know, it's all about like the people who are rich for a day or a year and then nothing, you know, after that. And like, it just dawned on me because I'm coming up with a lot of amazing ideas and I'm like, wow, a lot of these ideas are going to take some time, but like they're going to be massive. But it's like, that's when it dawned on me. I was like, oh, these are legacy things. These are empire things. These are things that are going to last a long time after you're gone, and also will be a gift, you know, to humanity. Something you can just be like, here you go. Now I'm gonna go do something else, or I'm gonna retire. Or I'm gonna, you know, just go on with my life of being fabulous. Of something that I can just be like, I created this, and now I'm gonna give it to the world and move on. But a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking about, and a lot of the stuff that I've already put pen to paper and have started having early meetings on, it's very that.
Okay. Yes. EJ Johnson, y'all. Yay!
Yay!
What's up?
All right, so that is the end of that. All right. So once again, appreciate everybody who tuned in to the stream tonight, that you stayed with me this long to see this interview, right? Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Y'all let me know what y'all think overall about this interview, how you feel about EJ. What's your overall perspective about him? Do you believe that the things that he's saying was true about his wherever his reality? Do you believe that it's some things in his life that he need to change? Do you believe that he's really is pandering and grifting his father's name so he can have all these type of social statuses where he at right now? Even the stuff I said as well too. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that as well too. Now, shout out to everybody who once again who stayed this long and watch the stream. I appreciate everyone who sub up to the channel. Thank you everybody for all the likes as well too, because once again it helps the channel out a whole lot. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow night because we do got a great episode tomorrow night in store for you. So if you don't have your notifications set, make sure you have your notifications set for that tomorrow night. All right. And also, if you're not part of this, right, make sure that you also interacting with my shorts that I got out right now, and also my community wall on my page. Make sure that you're interactive with that as well too, because we be having some crazy conversations over there on my community wall. You be thinking this live is crazy. Let's go over to my community wall and see the stuff that we post over there on the community wall. I guarantee that you're going to get a lot out of that too. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, I want to let y'all know that over here at the lounge, this is not a echo chamber at all, period. As y'all could clearly see, this is not an echo chamber over here at all, period. We welcome all viewpoints, all thoughts, regardless if we agree or disagree over here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best way how we can learn from one another is by us, you know, challenging ideas, challenging thoughts, and we can assimilate that where it can help us in the future. That's how you grow. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all so much. I thank you for the gifts that y'all shared with me as well too. I appreciate that a whole lot. And we done, and that's it. Catch y'all on the next episode, and I will see you again. Peace out, y'all.